This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. What's going on? Wow, look at Plato's got like a buffering look. Yeah, I played golf today. It's pretty crazy. Well, this is a random, just Delphi night like we used to do, but it's been about a month or so since the last one, so figured I'd do it. Yeah, look at this course that I never even heard of it. It's only an hour away. It's really insane. Look how pretty this is out there. Look at that. That's what it actually looks better in person. It was weird. Let's see. Some of these shot like this one. Actually, I think if you just type in the Elk Ridge Golf Course, Washington, probably put in some images up here. Yeah, like that's what it looked like. See these big mountains, and it was unreal. Look at that. Yeah, I can't wait to go there again. It's like this hidden gem that nobody knew about. And it drains really well too. It's not muddy or anything. So, how's everybody doing? That well, huh? Hey, thank you, Alice Patak. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm thinking of doing a donation tonight to the ballpark again. We're about on the halfway through the month, and then I'll probably wait till the end of the month and send all the rest into the DNA fund, but we'll see how tonight goes.
Chewbacca? I'll do Chewbacca if you want me to.
Just made 3 meals with. Don't know what that means. Just made 3 meals with. Interesting. All right, so I guess there's probably people out here that haven't really followed this case that much. I don't know how many people are watching, maybe 100, yeah, 210. So who knows, right? Most people in the true crime genre right now are only interested in one case or two. So they're not, as soon as you hear that you're talking about something else, they just click, they're gone. I don't know what that means. Who's that in the lower right? No idea. Let's see. Awesome. Thank you, JD. And Stacy's doing okay, still out there. She just doesn't have any time lately to come over. Oh, really? Did she throw it at you, Cairo? Is that how it broke, or? Yeah, ended up shooting an 80. That was like the worst I could have done too. It was, I probably missed 6 5-foot putts where they just like hit the lip and rolled out. And then on the first hole, I was on the green, and the pin is like 5 feet. The green goes way up a hill, so I putted it up there, and it went to the top, and then it rolled all the way back down to my feet. That sucked. Yeah. What does that mean, adding around? Oh, yeah, yeah. No, not really. It was really pretty out there. I just, I don't have the feel for the speed of the greens, you know. It was weird. I just kept missing stuff. And normally if I have like a 30-footer, I can put it within a foot and somebody will give it to me, or I'll just tap it in, you know, whatever. But today I'd have a 30-footer and be 4 feet away, and then on the 4-footer I'd putt it and it would lip out. It was very frustrating, you know. Yeah, what does it even mean, Doug? You know, trying to come up with some clever stuff. We know that tonight's going to be troll night, so just kind of waiting for the trolls to pop in with the dumbass comments over and over and over again. Have nothing to do with anything. Just waiting.
Gosh, Gray, you're so rude.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if any of you guys are caught the live on So Mean Allegedly. I'm going to say it again. I mean, here's the thing, everybody. There are a lot of really dumb people in society. Because I've said it 100 times. Listen to me one more time in terms of that case, okay? In the Summer Wells case. I just got to bring this up really quick. I've said 1,000,000 times that, yes, Don Wells sexually assaulted. He admits to. He doesn't call it that, but it is. When he was 12, and his 5-year-old stepsister, and then it kind of continued on. He admits to it, all right? But what I've said was, had those been his biological sisters, it would make it more likely that he could have done something to Summer. But because, you know, that doesn't seem to be his MO, it makes him less likely. Now, people take that like, what do you mean, Gray? Sexual assault is sexual assault. And I'm like, well, what did I say that said that wasn't? What did I say that made it not that? Okay, so I don't have time for people that dumb, that don't get that nuance right there. Do you understand how ridiculous? I mean, you go read these comments and they're like, what do you mean, Gray? It's still, I just don't understand. It's a simple concept that, yes, he could have done it. I'm just saying it's not as likely that he did it because it's his biological sister and all of his other victims were stepsisters. Okay, and sometimes there is a boundary that somebody goes over to have actually, do like an incestual version. Okay, so it makes it less likely, yet it's still very possible. It doesn't mean anything that you should be offended by. It makes me just ill sometimes, almost like you just look at it and go, how can you be so ridiculous to not hear what somebody's saying? Man, go on that video and read some of these comments people make. They are just dumb, okay? I don't understand it. I have no patience for it. And it's not, well, they just have a different perception. No, it's not a different perception. They're not listening to what people are saying. They just hear one, no, 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 and they just go on a tunnel vision rant. Oh, wow. Unbelievable. All right, so let's get to the... you really can't, Mag. It's scary. It's scary times. Hey, welcome. Support with Steffa. All right. I mean, do you guys ever feel that same frustration where you explain something that's so simple, such a simple concept, and just people don't get it, even when you explain it to them again? And then it's just, and they get so outraged at something that doesn't exist. Man, unreal. Huh? I don't know what you mean, Boston Christian, but yeah. I was just, when we did the call-in show over there, I explained that. And then there was these people going, I lost all respect for you, Gray. Sexual assault is sexual assault. They're both 5. And I go, yeah, that's horrible. It's horrible. Well, what does that have to do with what I just said? I was just saying it makes it less likely for Don. That's all I was saying. That's the only thing that I was saying, less likely, because, I mean, I'm not going to say it again. Man, to read into it what they want, I don't know, man. To read into it what they say I meant is astounding and scary. It just shows you if they were on a jury, they could hear anything somebody said. They'd be sitting there going, oh, did you hear that? Oh. And the person didn't say anything like that at all, but their mind wants to hear it. Yeah. See, and that's why people are guilty sometimes, because of that brain power.
So mean.
No, it's not a comparison at all. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It had nothing to do with it at all. And people go, well, I think I know what you meant, Gray. No, I meant exactly what I said. It's just some people can't figure it out, what somebody's saying, when it's so clear. I don't need you to like help me out and reword it and things. I said it exactly the way I said it, and it was exactly it was correct even. Look it up. Yeah, nobody's been talking about that, Loretta. And if he did, then I'd say now it makes it puts him into a more likely category. You know, when I say more likely, just meaning it makes it more likely that he could also assault his own daughter if he assaulted his own sister. Nobody's come forward to say that he assaulted his own sister. Okay? He hasn't said it. None of the sisters have said anything. That's it. Okay, so again, you're coming back with a comment, Loretta, that has absolutely nothing to do with what I was saying. See, people like you're not listening. You don't understand what somebody just said. So your reply back has nothing to do with what I was talking about. Yeah, that's exactly right, Plato. Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to go over the Delphi case here. And for those of you who don't know about it, this took place on February 13th, 2017. In my mind, sometimes my brain's going February 17th, you know, but I always remember as I'm saying it. So February 13th, 2017. Why did Plato get hidden there? I think that was an accident. Hey, Plato, you got accidentally hidden, so I'm gonna unhide you. All right, you're back in there, Plato. I think Dennis was putting his phone in his pocket. So put something in there. Type something in, Plato. I got to make sure that you're in there. Go ahead, Plato. Type something in. And thank you, Cairo, up there. Okay, there you go. Okay. Man, here's the thing, though, everybody. It's such a waste of time for us creators. You know, I hate the word creators, but us, people that do these videos and live stream, when you have to deal with that kind of brain power from so many people, they just totally throw you off. It destroys everybody in the chat's confused and everything. Just if you don't know what somebody said, just don't respond, okay? Because you'll end up sounding really dumb. Yeah. You can ask, hey, what did he just say? And then that person will also have heard it wrong, and then they'll say it the way they want you to hear it, so that they can start an outrage agenda. Yep, everybody can see you, Plato. God, it's unreal. Hey, Truthless, I know what it is I'm talking about. I mean, if people are talking about Summer Wells, they're talking about it because I just mentioned it, okay? Yeah, well, we do have the information because none of the sisters have said that he did that. That's the information we have. Loretta, okay? But yeah, we're not actually talking about, I mean, I guess that's what it is I was talking about these scenarios that are happening, and just reading the comments, it's just mind-boggling, the absurdity. Yeah, that's what I was telling Chasing this evening. I go, man, there's just no way to win with some of these people. They just, wow. Anyways, sorry about that. And I'm going to move on now. So this is Libby was living with Mike and Becky Patty, and that's actually the grandparents. And Mike is a step grandparent. Becky is the, I think, paternal grandparent of Libby. All right, so, and also Derrick, the father, him and his ex-wife, I think they were married at one point. They had a lot of issues, and so they lost custody to Becky, and so they're actually, I think of Becky as the mother, actually. It's like she's the one that's raised them since they were kids, although it's a grandmother. All right. And when I say them, I mean Libby and Kelsey. And then there's like individual named Cody in the family, and Derrick, and Derrick's the father, and he lived there too. He just didn't have legal custody, and I believe he lived there. I think he did. I remember hearing that, but now it's been so long now, it's just out of my memory. But they were, Libby and Abby were hanging out together because it was a school day, a make-up school day, where they had taken off too many days, or had too many school days because the weather was good, where they actually got to have a day off from school. Yeah, I am, Candalee. Did you see what I was doing? Thanks. People are just... Yeah, I've been talking about it for like 5 minutes. Thank you. Yeah, so they were hanging out, spent the night together, and they were doing some chores around the house for Becky. Thank you, Candalee.
Okay, Gray, we get it. Ty, I would love to go on to the Delphi case again, Ty.
That sounds like a passive-aggressive super chat. Hopefully it's not just me. Hopefully it's just me thinking it that way. All right, we've got a So they're hanging out there doing chores around the house for Becky, you know, like little work-related things. And then she also was going to send Derrick to a town called Frankfurt to take some pictures for her appraisal business. And probably around like 12 o'clock, 12:15, they said, hey, they wanted to go to the bridge, the Monon High Bridge. And it's this old railroad bridge that goes across the Deer Creek. And it used to be a railroad bridge, but it's been shut down for many, many years. And now it's really kind of a dangerous bridge to cross, but people would still do it. And even Libby would go onto that bridge often, walk across, and just say, you know, I mean, take pictures, and they'd hang out. Her and Kelsey would go there all the time. Abby hadn't gone to the bridge or crossed it before. So Libby and Kelsey used to go there all the time and take photos and cross the bridge. Kelsey's the older sister of Libby. So they were given permission to go to the bridge that day, but they just needed to have a ride there and a ride back. And it was a sunny day, but it was only about 43 degrees. So they left the house at probably, I would say, something like 1:25, and they were going to get a ride home from Derrick. Okay, but Derrick was also going to Frankfurt, so it was going to take him an hour and a half to 2 hours to be finished, and that's when he was going to go pick them up at the Monon High Bridge Trail. Okay, so they leave here at 1:25-ish, drive like that down in this exact path right here on the green line. There was another route that Becky thought maybe they could have gone, but it got confirmed that it was this route right here in green, and then they both overlap in this area. And then you come down here and you cross the cemetery on West 300 North, and right here you park the car, and this is where Kelsey pulled over. And that was right at 1:37. She knows that because she called her boyfriend right as she dropped them off.
This will be the year.
Yep. Okay. That's alright. Maybe you're on rewind mode too. Yeah. I hope so, Cindy Lean. So they've dropped off here at 1:37. I think Libby gave like a sweater or coat or something. I mean Kelsey did to Libby, and then Kelsey drove off this direction, and then Libby and Abby walked just like this, and then take a left down this path right here. And it's not really that far. You know, the distance from here to the start of the bridge, which is right there, is, I mean, I'll just measure it and add a little bit to it. It's probably about like 0.3 miles. So it takes about 6 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes to walk from right here to the start of the bridge. So they start walking, and then I've got some footage here that you could see what it would have looked like. And I'll use my Flow 3 video again. I'll just mute it. So here's that, right where they were dropped off is just behind here. So imagine, again, right like this. That's probably picking it up about right here, that video. So then it'll turn left. See? And then right there's a left turn made, and then it goes down this long straightaway. And that's exactly what it looked like. This video here was filmed in March that same year. And so as you can see, it goes way down. Let me make this smaller because I think it's supposed to fit into this. Yeah, there you go. That, and then I'll make this bigger. There you go. So this is just what it looked like. This is them. You could just picture this is what it was like for them walking. Very sunny day. Walking down. Hey, thanks. Incognito Society. I always liked that name. And then, can you guys see up above how the
Thank
path?
you for all you do. Justice for Abby and Libby.
Oh, there you go. You get the hug dogs. It's really small, but there it is. Look at that. Look at. That actually happened. Unbelievable. And then right up here, there's a turn in the road, and at that point, you can see both directions. So that would have been a good spot for the killer to have sort of maybe followed from a distance and then stayed there and then watched both directions for a while to see what was going on. At the time that Libby and Abby were there, the killer knew that there was nobody in front of them and, you know, couldn't see anybody else behind him or anything. So that's when he made his move. I actually think, if I go back a little bit here, see right up above here, right there, there's another trail that goes down that way. I think if the girls had gone down that way, he would have followed them down that trail that's right there. And because it goes, let me show you that one. See, that trail is right here. So right off of there, boom. And then it goes all the way down to, you can actually still see it in the woods, down by the Deer Creek down there. See? And so I think he would have followed him down there because, he knew nobody was in front of him and he knew nobody was back, and this is very isolated down here. It just turns out they went this way, and then probably at some point when they were crossing, he said, okay, I'm going to make my move. And they might have only been about halfway when he started coming across. And then they sort of hustled a little bit more to get to the other end. And they're like, man, he's still coming, he's still coming. And he kept coming. So, here we go. So when you walk down that full path, there's a barrier at the end. And then you go around the barrier, and then here's the bridge. This is the bridge that the girls got on and started taking pictures. They were having fun. Okay, you can see it in the pictures. They were taking pictures of the bridge, and then there's another one of Abby walking, and she's just kind of looking down, trying to walk across the bridge. There was no fear at that point. I think that there might have been some, they might have ran into the guy like 20 minutes prior, because one thing that there is some missing time here. They were dropped off at 1:37, and then there's an image at 2:07 right here, but it would only take maybe 8 minutes or so, maybe not, 8 or 9 minutes to get from here to here. So there's 20 minutes. So were they walking down the trail, taking various pictures? Sergeant Jerry Holman says that, there's all kinds of, there's a whole bunch of pictures they took that day. So they might have been just slowly walking back and forth, taking pictures. Heck, maybe they even, I don't even know. They didn't get there to the start of the bridge as quickly as you could have. So there's probably 20 minutes of unaccounted for time other than walking. And so here we go. And this is how the bridge is. When this was filmed, obviously there's no stabilization on their camera, so it's shaky. Yeah, so you're going to see right here in a second the photographs that were taken. So right in this spot, here's that little vine right there. This is where the first photograph was taken. It's the full length of the bridge. Just a different camera setting, so that's why it looks narrower and things like that. Probably a wide angle lens. This is a video that I made. I think it was made in 2017. I don't remember if it was made in March or April or when it was made. This is my third version of it, though. And then you can see right there, I could have easily picked a better frame than this. There was one that showed the whole scene like the one on the right did. But that's where that picture was taken from. And the whole time, it appears that Libby is always a little bit further away on the bridge than Abby is. Like further across. You know, even the first picture, well, you know that Abby's behind Libby because you don't see Abby in front of you. It's just the full length of the bridge. And then on the second shot, there's a picture of Abby still heading across, but behind Libby. And then Libby probably gets back on the bridge and continues across because she's the one that's sure of herself, right? Probably encouraging Abby to keep on going. And then see right here, these trees right here, right there, these ones. Those are what make up what everybody calls I do anyways, the forked tree that's behind the suspect in this video right here. See that forked tree back there? And it's a complete optical illusion. That tree right there, it's not really a tree, it's a conglomeration of trees. It's all of these, this one and this one. Oh wait, you can't see that yet, so let me go over. Alright, so the tree that looks like a forked tree behind him is this one, and this one, all seemingly together from all the way at the end of the bridge down there. Alright, and this is platform 5 right here. This is the one where a girl named Cheyenne took a picture back towards the other direction. That same day at about maybe 40 minutes after the girls were, started their journey across the bridge. I mean, it was crazy how soon that was. Yeah, it was March, yeah. Figured it was March. Wow, Baba shows up. Guess why? Because we're covering Delphi! Yeah, I remember that. This one girl would never remember, or would never believe me, even though she was the one that said, oh, look, that tree looks similar. And I go, oh my God, that changed everything for me. I didn't say the 10th. I just said March. Anyways, going across the bridge right here. And this is where the girls would have then stepped off the bridge here. And then they turned around. And then the killer is coming at them. So right now, the camera needs to be about 3 feet to the left here. So that this right rail's to the right of on the right side of the lens. So this is way off right here. But at that moment is when this happens. So they're at the end of the bridge, looking back, and he's coming towards them. And then he walks by them on the bridge. So then I'll show you the animation that I made because I think that one really puts it all together. Alright, this is the one. Yeah, this one. I'll just play it. Hold on. So here they are when they were originally walking across the bridge. And she takes a full picture of the bridge. Boom. That's the shot right there. And I usually just go back over all this again so that people that are new can see what was going on here, right? And then she gets over to this platform number 3, stands on it, turns around, and takes a picture. Hey, thank you, Jacqueline Keeley. So it's like right there, taking a picture. And then there's the shot back towards the start of the bridge, and then they turn around and continue on, or Libby turns around, and they both continue across the bridge. Yeah, that took a long time, incognito, but you kind of have to put them on there or it sort of doesn't look right. And it actually mimics how narrow the shadows are from certain angles. So here he comes. And of course that guy doesn't look exactly like him anyway. Yeah. I just kind of repeat it a few times. Is everybody pretty clear on the movements across the bridge? Right? So they walk the trail. Then they walk together across the bridge, and that first shot is right there. Then they walk to this one, and the image you see is Libby on this platform filming back at Abby. Then they both continue on, because we know that the last image is the killer coming towards them and filmed back this way because that forked tree is right over here. And by the way, see, that's what's interesting about if you go back to the right here, see that the tree back there in that platform? Well, the killer is way up here past platform 6. The platform that you see behind him over here is right there, and the tree is way back there. So if you were actually going to measure the distance between the suspect and the tree, it's long ways. It is 210 feet. Even though when you look at the video, it looks like it's, 20, 30, maybe 50 feet behind it. Okay, so anyways, the girls walked across the bridge, then this killer caught up to him. And, the part that always bugs me, I say this often, is that, there's a whole bunch of parts that bug me, but the sort of visualization of the moment is really bothersome when you think that, we've all had those moments in life where something's going down and your heart starts beating really fast and you're panicky. I've had 2 or 3 of those in my life where you're just, oh my god, And then you're like, oh, phew, oh, because it was just in your head or it just didn't pan out negatively, right? So in this case, they had that feeling, but it never got better. It kept getting worse and worse and worse because the killer, right at the end of the bridge, he says, hey guys, and then he pulls out a gun. That's what law enforcement believes. And he says, down the hill. And they walk down. There's a first hill right up here. This Google Earth sucks right here, but there's a steep hill right there that goes down to a private drive. And then there's another hill right here. So when you hear down the hill, it's this one right here. And then they go down the hill. They make it down to the lower level. There's a shoe found somewhere down here the next day, but they were either made to cross the creek right here, and you can see right here there's this shallow section. And that's why some people think that the killer had been there before, because they knew about this. Or it could have been that the girls just made a run for it because they saw that it was shallow and ran across, and then he went and caught him, and then they were both the following day found right here. But at first they were just missing, right? So Derrick, he was supposed to pick them up at within an hour and a half to 2 hours, and he just so happened he was over driving back, and he was at the Wilson Bridge, which is, where the hell is that? Yeah, right there, the Wilson Bridge. And that was at 3:11. And then he made it all the way to the parking area at 3:14, right here. So again, remember the photograph was 2:07 on the bridge, and he was there at 3:14. So that's only an hour and 15 minutes later from the second photograph. Oh, you can't see. Oh shit. Sorry. Let me show you that again. Here's Wilson Bridge right here. That was at 3:11. And at past the cemetery, then at 3:15 he's about right here at the parking area. 3:14, 3:15. Then he gets out of his car and walks to this area, and that was right around because as soon as he tried calling a couple times and he got no answer, so he's like, wow, this is, he was nervous. So he got out of his vehicle, and about 3:15 ish, maybe who knows exactly what time. I would say 3:20. He talks to a guy in a flannel shirt here and asks him, hey, did you see anybody at the bridge, 2 girls? And he goes, no, I saw a couple near the bridge. And that's all he saw. And that was, 3:20. So then Derrick said, okay, well then they're not there. So he walked down that other trail right here. And then back up, and he was back up here by, I think it was 3:30. So maybe it was 3:15 here. Got out of his car really quick, walked that little distance to get to that intersection. Then he walks down, then back up. And then at 3:30, he's back up to here. Then he walks to the Freedom Bridge here. Then he walks back. 4 o'clock, everybody has already been called. People are starting to show up to help look for them. It turns out that the killer, though, was in the vicinity for about 20 minutes of the time that Derrick was there, given some information that I was told and then kind of confirmed by somebody else. So 20 minutes of the time. So if Derrick got there at 3:15, that means they're saying that he was still around at 3:35. And what's interesting about that is this. This is what is really crazy to me. Is the flannel shirt guy probably walked out at 3:15 this direction. Derrick went down here. He was down here. He got back up here at 3:30. But wouldn't it have been interesting if during those 15 minutes that Derrick walked down here, the killer somehow made it back onto the trail, either by walking around like this, but he was in front of Derrick as Derrick was walking, made it back here at 3:30, and then started walking And then the killer, what if the killer was already kind of right around here at that time, and then maybe walked like this to get to a car that was parked here at the abandoned CPS building? So sort of an interesting thought that, wow, it could have been that they overlapped on that time that he walked down, and if he hadn't have gone down that other trail, he might have actually run into the guy. That's what's just absolutely mind-boggling. I mean, it's definitely speculation, but, you know, you never know, right? You never know. All right, so that first night, nobody found him. A lot of people showed up. Kelsey, Mike, the step-grandfather, Becky, I mean, all kinds of family members. And they came out there, and they didn't find anybody. And a whole bunch of searchers started showing up, and they searched all over the place. But the thing is, everybody's like, well, didn't they come across? Well, why would you look over here? They already had the Snapchat images online, which showed that they were on the bridge. So you would make a pretty good assumption that the girls wouldn't have crossed a creek for some random reason. So you wouldn't have been looking over there. When you look at all of the videos that are out there, there's people searching over here, all around here, because this is a really tiny little shallow creek that you could easily get across. And so they looked all around here, but not many people looked over here. And also, when you're looking, you're not looking for a body. You're kind of looking forward, saying, hey, anybody there? You know, you're calling for them. You saw. Yeah. Nah, they didn't do that. They didn't search over there. Brittany, just let you know. Now, he did that like the next day. He got canoes and stuff later, not that day. No, they were though, Casey. So you might not think that, but they were. Yeah, they were murdered in the middle of the day. So that's 100% fact. Yeah. So, well, you said definitely don't think they are murdered in the middle of the day. What does that mean? When you then you say I know when I just said that you're. What do you mean, yeah, I know? What does that mean? well, you were agreeing with me, but you said the exact opposite, yeah. Definitely don't think they are murdered in the... Oh, I mean the people, the searchers. Yeah, you got to put the sentences together. You have to say searchers definitely didn't think they are murdered in the middle of the day. Right. But even then, they were out there searching late at night, and they're still not going to be, they're, looking around on the ground. And they look kind of, they looked till, I don't know, what was it, midnight, and then it was called off. Then they all gathered together the next day, and there was way more people searching. And Kelsey was around in this area, and somebody found a shoe, and it was hers. And then just a moments later, I guess apparently this person looked across, saw a couple deer, and then right below the deer were Abby and Libby. He said he had his phone up in the air and he could see them. Well, I'm just saying, I didn't have a clue what that meant without the first part. Yeah, and I see what you're saying, Casey. You just left out the word searchers. Let's see. Because it didn't look in that right spot, Chad. I asked that guy. He doesn't even remember where he flew the damn thing. And it was much later, too. Hours and hours later. At that point, it was in the 30s outside. Who knows? And they were covered by a canopy of trees. Yeah, not really ditching. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we've all said that. That's what we've been saying the whole time. It's just people are strange, man. Yeah. So, anyways, they came out the next day, and then around noon, maybe 12:15. Their bodies were found right here, and then it was just, they sealed off the area. There was helicopter footage out there, all kinds of stuff going on. But hey, now that we're right at this point in the show, I thought I would make a donation to the Abby and Libby ballpark like we do often. This channel's donated probably over $3,000 to the ballpark over the years, and yet that is frowned upon by some idiotic YouTubers out there. Okay, guys that look like Charles Manson. All right, so let's go ahead and send some more money in there. Now, if you guys would like to help out my channel, that would be awesome. I'd really appreciate it. If you don't want to help out the channel and you want to send money right into a charity, you go ahead. But the people on my channel like supporting me so I can continue to do what I'm doing. And we also donate a shitload of money to charity at the end of each month and throughout the year. And if that's not something worthwhile to a bunch of wackos that think a guy that looks like Charles Manson is an interesting YouTuber, then, go F yourselves, okay? All right, here, let me do the... let me see if I can find it. All right, so here's the Libby and Abby ballpark. Donate. Now, it's not allegedly, it's fact. There's so many really stupid people that follow this case. Morons. All right, so here we go. Look at that, everybody. $500. Now, when the guy that looks like Charles Manson donates anything close to this number, give me a call, okay? And he'll tell you about, it was behind the scenes. I did it with nobody. Yeah, okay, right. All right, I got to put my password in. Don't worry, everybody. I'll show you the receipt. Thank you, Perry Mom. That's such a long password. Oh my God, you gave a hint out. Did you hear that? All right, there you go. Thank you for donating $500. But how do we know that's true? How do we know that's real? That actually happened right then? Maybe you're just using the one from the last time.
Heart. Let's solve this, Gray. Abby and Libby deserve this.
Yeah, and let's see. Probably in a minute here, when the receipt comes in, I'll show it to you, okay? When the PayPal email comes in, there it is right there. Okay, there it is. You donated $500 to the Libby and Abby Ballpark Foundation. Okay, November 14th, 2021. The transaction ID number is 9DT9121-9RB743393R for you whack jobs who never think any of this is real.
Thank you, Gray and Freaks. I will go take some pictures of the park and our paver when they go in.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we have 3 pavers, too, that are going down. Alright. We got that. And now we're going to update our grand total. And so far this year, 37,500. And now it's 38,000. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fill that out. And if you're not interested, then you're not interested. All right. Thanks, Mag. 38,500. Or 38,000, sorry. 38,000. Did you hear that? Gray was trying to add an extra 500. Oh, no, he took it off. Okay. All right. You know, the way I sound right now is because I am cynical at this point. There are so many stupid people that follow this case, and the way they talk, that I just don't have any patience anymore. Okay, it just is the way it is, and the stuff that they believe in and people they believe in. Wow. All right, let me add to the. So far this year, we've given 1,500 to the Libby Abbey ballpark, but now it's 2,000. Okay. All right, Charles Manson lookalike. Let me know when you hit that number. Okay. So we've given $2,000 to the Libby Abbey ballpark this year, and now the totals are the DNA Fund 19,500, Texas EquiSearch 5,050, the Innocence Project 1,000, the Polk County Sheriff's Department 500, the Charlie Project 500, RAIN, which is Violence Against Women, $5,000, and NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is a crossover with Abby and Libby. We donated some money in their name to that, is $4,450. All right, and the Libby and Abbey ballpark 2,000. So that's where we come up with $38,000. Awesome. And as you can see, right, hey, thank you, Carolina T.
Yay.
Yay. All right, so there we go. I mean, at this point, the Libby and Abbey ballpark, I mean, it looks really cool, and they still need more funds, and it'll get done and completely finished at some point with all the pavers and everything. And it'll be awesome. Okay. So we'll get back to the case. Thank you, Mary Glaviano. I do need an inbox manager. Yeah. I want law enforcement to toss
Thank you
out
for all
just
you
enough
do.
to. There's Susanna Mac. You didn't check your email, Susanna MacGill Padre. I was going to put you back in. After all that time, I was like, where is she? I kept looking for you. Hey, thanks. Anthony Galvez. Yeah, I mean, I do 3-hour shows every day, and yes, a lot of times we're working through the cases together. I just gather all of the, a lot of times I'll go out and find as many different, like the newspaper articles from the time, and then other stuff, supporting information to tell as much of the story as I can do in in the research
Gray, you
phase
are one of
on
the
a day.
hardest working YouTubers of all time. You deserve everything you receive and more.
Yeah, people don't really understand how hard it is to. I mean, after a while, it's sort of, it's not as well. It's really time consuming, and it takes up a lot of time. And All right, so there's a whole bunch of stuff that I have loaded up in this, in Adobe Premiere here, different clips and whatnot. Yeah, so there's some clips that I thought were interesting because I have these all from a long time ago and I forgot about them. Oh, cool, Susanna. All right, so look at the crime scene, really laid out right there. And so this is interesting because, I mean, I know exactly where I think this might even be the bent tree, but just at an angle where it looks straight. I think. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at that again. But you can see the crime scene in full here. And they were
Hi,
50
thanks for
feet from the
sharing your
water, so
research on
they
the
were right
case.
in this area right here. Like probably, maybe even right there or right there in that clump of trees. Hey, thanks, Tom Webster. Yeah, no problem. So it's interesting to look at this shot here because it's, it's either, I can't tell by the angle if it's right next to that tree or right in this area where they were found. But it was apparently 50 feet from the water. Yeah, so it was on that clip. And then now here's the original clip that I used, and that's the same right-hand side of the crime scene. And then when it pans over, so actually I think we might be seeing that tree, that straight up one there. This one right here in that first, see that straight tree right there? Let's see if there's a little bend in it. And then we're just blocked out from seeing the bent tree in this first shot here. Yeah, there it is. The little bend in it. Boom. I didn't even notice that before. So yeah, so now we know that the bent tree is just a little bit off to the left here, and there's that tree, and you see it again in right there. See, and then just to the left is that bent tree. So man, it's really crazy because also what's her name, Truth Sleuth, the girl that with the forceps, I always forget her name, Julie Melvin. She filmed down there too, and you can see the tape from a different angle. I actually have that clip in here too. All right, so Julie Melvin, let me get to that one. Let me make that bigger. Got a whole bunch of clips in here. Yeah. And that, by the way, those are the original photos right there. Where is it? Yeah, right here.
All the way here to the actual creek. I just want to give people to show you again, like the guy had in the video. See,
there's a bent tree. The guy in the video, she was talking about me. There's the shallow area.
Just to give you an idea.
So they're right down there. So
see
where they're standing right now in the map is right down here, and there's the bent tree. That straight one, I think, is right here. Right there, you can almost see the, it's just weird. Hold on. Yeah. So that's the bent tree is right there, and then there's that straight one that we were looking at right here, and that's why I have the crime scene marked off right where it is, and they say 50 feet, so it's right in that area. And there's this big tree in the front, and now when you look at Julie Melvin's video, she's standing right down here. Right down in this area. So if we go here, watch this some more, and to see it, you can actually see the crime scene tape across. That's the right hand side of it. So this tree section right there, I think it's right behind that, but 50 feet they say from the water.
Too much further to go. And God bless those girls. Found somewhere.
So I mean, Julie Melvin did get some, she had some good videos in terms of just footage, the analysis part, not so much. All right, let's see. So that's the right-hand side of the yellow
you
tape.
can see when I turn around. Uh-oh, there's a vehicle. We're probably in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We're getting ready to get on the bridge.
She filmed this too.
This is to help Grant Hughes.
Yeah, see? So she filmed this for me to help me. So that was nice of her. So now let's go back. Now that we see that down there, they're down at the water, and then on the right-hand side, right there, you can see it. Hold on. Right there, there's that tape on the left-hand side looking the other direction. So if you went back to the original videos that we had at the very front back here, this one really is interesting to me now. This one here, because this is probably, you know, I'm sure it's weeks later, but because they left that tape up. This yellow tape over here is what we were just looking at in the Julie Melvin video. And then this is off to the left here. And then right there are those, it could even be, you know, probably more like right in there are those trees. And they were saying 50 feet from the water. And usually they do crime scene tape what's right in the middle, okay? So look at this. I mean, right in this scene is where they were found. There's no you can't even argue it at this point. In this shot right here is where they were found. I just don't know exactly where. Was it right here, or was it right over there, or right here? You know, I can't tell by looking at it where the 50 feet is. Thanks, Marianne Bobani. Yeah, well, when people send PayPal money, I use that for, like, sometimes I boost up the donation numbers, or, you know, when I'm buying equipment and stuff like that. It's all the YouTube revenue is what I donate 40 to 50% of the net income from it to charities. Okay, but I gotta, you know, I have a monetized channel just like everybody else. I just choose to donate a huge percentage of it. Yeah, they say it was 50 feet from the water. That's what they said in the original. Now, how accurate that is, I don't know. But in this shot right here, it absolutely, they were found in that scene right there. And then the other video is this one. And that's just to the, it's actually being filmed in almost the same location, just further, closer to the water in this one. So they're right next to the water. This is how I figured out the whole flow of the crime, by the way. Because I looked at this tree here and I said, wow, look at that. Because I didn't know where this was. Nobody knew any of this stuff. I mean, it seems simple now. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, it's really simple, really simple. No, I mean, for the first 2 weeks, nobody had a clue of anything. And you want to hear something that's really strange? What's going on, Libby? Are you all right? Say what? What are you talking about? What's really strange is that this whole, the whole flow of the crime and the, however, you know, the layout of the land and the likely direction that everybody moved around was all figured out because this lady in a large Facebook group saw an image and saw the forked tree behind the killer. As soon as I saw that, I went, oh my God, this can be figured out now. And I went on a mission right there. And once I found the forked tree, I knew it was on that side of the river. Then I saw that when I watched this video right here, I saw this bent tree. And then when I was looking at Google Earth, it was actually, they didn't have this they had the one from 2012 up. And from here, I said, wow, oh, look at that. That's the bent tree. And then Julie Melvin's video filming across. Then you see this little shallow area here. And so looking at this one is really easy to determine. So let's take a look at this. So they're saying 50 feet. There's the edge of the water. And that's at 62 feet right there. And I have it right in the middle, because what you wouldn't do a crime scene and go like that. You're going to have it, the crime scene is in the middle of the tape. So I found the bent tree from that one Twitter video. Then all this stuff, I put it all together. I used to actually do these little screen sharing sessions with people. And then eventually I went, what am I doing? I'll just make a video of it. All right. Do you guys want to see? I actually have in here the original version of that. Let's see, where is it? Oh, it's over here. Flow. Yeah, this is the first one right here. It's crazy. It's funny to watch it though. See, this is how I would do it. I would just film, I would record my screen and show people. So, you know, I was off, by the way. I mean, I'm off by 30, 40 feet on the bridge because we didn't have the specific information. And then when Robert Ives got a hold of me, he said I could give you better information, but nothing ever came of that because there was never an arrest made. So then Baba in there and Bonnie Rame, they went out there and started filming the bridge for me while I was on the phone. We were trying to figure stuff out, and then we really got everything dialed in. We got the 2 photographs and the where the killer is all absolutely nailed in within inches. Okay, it all made sense. You know, the flow of the crime went across, and so everything I have off by probably 80 feet. Now, like I thought that originally that this video, the video of the killer, this one right here, I thought that was filmed from platform 6, like literally standing on platform 6, but within, I think probably on, well, with 12 days into the, not even 12, it was like 8 days after the crime, that's when we figured out that it was totally different than that. And maybe it might have been March, though, that we figured out that the girls were off the end of the bridge, and that was because of Beth. Beth was out there. She said, you know, Grace, that little white thing, you can't see that unless you're off the end of the bridge. You know, you can't see it at all. If you're standing up, you can't see it. So then it was like, boom, and then I messaged Ives, and he said, well, assume the girls were off the end of the bridge. So that was his answer, and that confirmed that that's exactly what it was. So anyways, see how in this video I'm playing that same... Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Shit. Right here. Let me go back. So this is how I would explain it to people. You know, I'd use this, show people how they cross the bridge, and you know, was measuring things on the video. And then you get to this point and you can see I was using that same video with the bent tree, and then look at, I put it over here so I can show people, look, it's right there. See how it goes over the water? And then you can see up here is the ridge right up there. Oh yeah, well this is well, it's not even a guess anymore. Bow and arrow. It's actually what it is. I mean, this is all proven now. I'm just going through back in time how this all went down. Now, there's been suspects over the years, Daniel Nations and so forth. You know, some people thought Thomas Bruce, and you know, Garrett Kurtz. Yeah, I mean, literally, there's been like 7 or 8 people, but they're not really. Well, they're not suspects. They were what people deemed suspects, and we don't even know if they were people of interest. They were just people. Yeah. I don't know what anybody's talking about. Who's say what? If I give $100, I expect taxable donations receipts, so I get the $100 back, refundable. No, that's not how it works. Say what? You sound like an absolute idiot. You don't get anywhere near all the money back. No, he wasn't being okay. Yeah, you don't get $100 back. You know, so people like that are trying to make it sound like, oh yeah, as soon as you do the tax write-off from the donations, it's nowhere near dollar for dollar. It's not even close. Yeah. No, it is. It is being an idiot, yeah. Because that's not, you don't get 100% back. So you're incorrect, say what. So go say what to somebody else, all right? It's not even close, even close is what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, but I'd be stupid not to write off charitable donations. It helps out a little bit on taxes, but it's nowhere near what people think. Oh, it's dollar for dollar, Gray. You actually get like a $30,000 refund. It's incredible. Yeah, there you go. See, right, brown-eyed girl? Yeah. All right, so here's the second version that I put out called Crime Scene Flow with my neato little voice and everything.
This video is a more comprehensive look at the evidence indicating
mean,
the crime
the
scene
mystic?
flow in the case of Libby and
Precisely.
Abby of Delphi, Indiana. You are looking at a video of the drive to the most likely spot that Libby and Abby were dropped
Oh, yeah, I
off
love
for
that
their
voice.
hike on the Monon High Bridge trail.
Everybody loves this voice. I know it. Yeah, wouldn't that be amazing, Mag? Doesn't happen. There's just a lot of really dumb people out there, so it's unfortunate. Yeah, so they were dropped off. Yep, right there where the little green or red dot was. Now this one's not
Libby and
not
Abby
as accurate
head down
either.
the trail. Perhaps the killer was nearby, watching and waiting for an opportunity to strike. He probably was aware of the traffic on the bridge prior to Libby and Abby arriving, and knew there was no other hikers on the south side of the bridge. Libby and Abby began to cross the bridge, and after crossing the river section and continuing on, Libby stopped to take a photograph of the tracks on the bridge facing southeast.
So that was the second one.
Continuing
the third one was so much
southeast about
better.
90 feet, Libby stops and turns around 180 degrees and snaps another picture. This time with Abby in the shot. Libby and Abby continue southeast. Perhaps after they reached the halfway point, the suspect, who had been trailing far behind, made his move and began quickly walking across the bridge. He knew there was nobody hiking in front of the girls. Near the southwest portion of the bridge, Libby and Abby likely noticed the man moving quickly.
See, this is when I still thought it was
Late fee.
platform 6 right here, but it was actually at the end of the bridge.
Towards them. They
Thanks,
moved to
brown-eyed
the
girl,
platform in
1367.
hopes he would pass. Libby was thoughtful enough
I know it's a robotic sounding because it's a digital voice, Brittany. This is what I used, 4 years ago. All right, we don't need you to tell us that it sounds like a robot because everybody knows that. All right.
to record the man coming towards them on video and then put the phone in her pocket while still recording. In this composite of the suspects using the image Libby captured on film, it appears he turns towards the girls.
Yeah, see, what's funny? This is before the video was released, and I thought, it looks like I made with 3 frames, made these, put them all together, and it looked even then that it looked like he was turning towards them, and then when you get the actual 2-second video, it definitely looks like that because his toes turn in that direction.
Made his move and began quickly walking across the bridge. He knew there was nobody hiking in front of the girls. Near the southwest portion of the bridge, Libby and Abby likely noticed the man moving quickly towards them. They moved to the platform in hopes he would pass. Libby was thoughtful enough to record.
You know what's off-putting, or idiots like Chad who say it's off-putting in the chat, when I've already explained it 47 times that this was from 4 years ago, okay?
Man coming towards them on video and then put the phone in her pocket while still recording. In this composite of the suspects using the image Libby captured on film, it appears he turns towards the girls.
See, look at that, boom. that was weird. It actually, that's the original animation.
Unfortunately, we do not have the height and weight at this time, but it appears to me he's wearing blue jeans, a blue jacket and or a coat, and it appears to me that he has a hoodie on.
Oh, wow. Everybody, hear that? Hoodie. And so it was way further than that. They were at the end of the bridge.
The suspect took the girls off the southeast end of the bridge. Yellow crime scene tape can be seen here, indicating that the crime continued in this direction. The suspect can be heard ordering the girls to go down the hill.
Downhill.
Another indication that the crime continued on the grounds to the east off of the southeast end of the bridge is that police parked on the private drive east of the bridge. From the end of the southeast portion of the bridge to the edge of the creek is only 105 yards. Given the location of the bodies, the suspect either carried them across the creek, or while the girls were still alive, were ordered to wade across. As you can see, the water is shallow here. "270 yards from the west side of the stream is the cemetery, where law enforcement parked to secure the crime scene where Libby and Abby were found."
There you go. Isn't that awesome? Yeah.
Gosh, Gray. Gosh, Gray. The robotic voice is so off-putting. Yeah.
Let's see. I feel like someone just poked my balloon. Yeah. Let's see. All right. So I think the killer in this case is an individual who was just out hunting for a victim that day. I don't believe that the person was aware that there was a school day, because that would be the dumbest day to go out there, since there'd be a lot of people there. I guess there was apparently other people throughout the day and so forth. But that would be the dumbest day to do that. I think he was just there, and if it would have been an adult or anybody, I think he just took the opportunity that was presented with him with a 14 and a 13-year-old, and he wasn't looking for a 14 or 13-year-old. That's just the opportunity, and he took that opportunity and he killed them over here. Apparently he left signatures at the scene. I think he's a serial killer-like person. You know, whether or not he has the number of kills to call himself one, I don't know. But like John Miller in the April Tinsley case, he's a serial killer-like person. Obviously, he even taunted police for years. But apparently he only killed one person. Huh? Do you think that Brian... No, I don't think he's a good suspect. Yeah. I don't think Brian Chadwell did it. It's a totally different MO. Brian the killer in this case, just took an opportunity. Seems like he even had a kit of some sort with him, like on him, that he was going to use to do the things that he was doing. And he waited, observed, and then pounced when the coast was clear. And then he killed them. They were 13 and 14. In the Chadwell case, that girl was like 8 or 9. I can't remember. I think it was 8. And he lured her to his house. And then he, attacked her down in the basement. And so in that case, it'd make him a pedophile. But he's not a pedophile in the Abby and Libby case. So they're normally interested in only a specific type and age, pre-puberty. That's what pedophiles are. So everyone likes to call everybody that, but that's not what they're called technically. So it's a different MO. Well, because everybody always is, Emily. It's always like, oh my God, that person was so... You'd never think of him. We see that all the time, right? These killers that are, they fit into the neighborhood. They have a wife, some kids, live in the basement and drool. Just kidding. Just kidding. Yeah, it's cool because there's one satellite image here from April 2017. That's only 2 months later, so this is very close. The trees are just greening a little bit. Had this been 1 month prior, to be almost exactly what it looked like. Well, of course he's hiding in plain sight, right? They suggest a lot of things that are obvious. Like, yeah. What is he supposed to be doing? Hiding in a cave, and he only comes out when he... These people always live amongst other people, walking around, doing things that just nobody thinks that they're a killer. And I know that law enforcement, they did, the cell tower data dump thing where you find every single cell phone that pinged off of the towers, and you look up every single one of those people. If you're a smart killer, you don't even have your cell phone on or with you at all. You would just turn it off completely and don't have your data or anything like that on. And then then the phone doesn't register on cell towers. Yeah. So is anybody going to call in tonight, by the way? You can. You can tell me what your theory is, but that's really where we're at. We have all these people that have so many different random things, and I guess it's okay to kind of... There's been some interesting avenues that people have checked out. Like, I thought that, the geocaching one actually is mildly interesting that people came up with, but I've looked at a couple different versions of it, and it's pretty interesting, but it's, they didn't think that social media had anything to do with it. Oh yeah, it was a pretty big case at the time. Nobody was really doing shows on it. Like, doing live streams wasn't a big thing back in 2017. I kind of wish that if we could go back in time. Well, that's sort of a known thing that's been out there about the data dump ping thing. It doesn't mean he lives around there. It could be that he once lived around there, or he got there a week before and studied the surroundings. We don't really know for sure. I don't think he lives in Delphi, though. No way. He could, but that would be a shock because people are. Oh God, here we go. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot of wackos that think like the flannel shirt guy are related, and they think that the bodies were found on Ron Logan's property. This guy right here, he's a guy that's like 70-something years old at the time, tall, doesn't look anything like the killer, on the bridge. Doesn't look anything like him, and so, but. Again, like what kind of a moron killer would leave bodies out on top of the ground on your own property? See, just think through things. Now, if they were buried on his property, well, that might give it a little bit more weight, but they're just sitting out. Like, hey, everybody, come look. They're on my property. That's just stupid. Nobody would do that. Yeah. Anyways, I got to go use the facilities, so I'm going to. I don't know where that is now. Hold on. Maybe a minute. Yeah, it's kind of steep, but it's not as high down to the left. Like for example, I think if we pull up the Melvin video here. Not sure where it is now. Where did it go? Right there, I think. Yeah. Yeah. See see, a lot of people are doing it to make it look like it's really difficult. When you watch their videos, I've seen them do it. They always go over to the right where it's higher, but as it goes this direction, it gets lower and lower and lower the bank. See, look at that right there. Watch. See that? Look at the difference right there. Way different. So all you had to do was just follow the island, or whatever you want to call it, the sandbar, right here, down. So if you were right here and you ran across, why would you run across this really deep area here? You go this direction, and then you go up the bank right there. And it's angled and easy to get up. I don't know that's what they did. They might have run right across and struggled to get up.
Oh, that's what they did.
All right, hello. 512. Got to turn off the audio there.
Oh, okay. Sorry, mate.
Hello.
I thought there was even a killer ahead of me.
Oh, you got to turn down the audio from the video.
Hello.
Hey, look, I thought they was...
Who's this? The psychic waitress?
Oh, no. This is the blooming flower that is fading from the UK.
Oh, yeah? But you're the one that sings songs, right? What's your name on YouTube?
Oh, Dreaming Girl.
Dreaming
I was
Girl,
going to
okay.
trick you and tell you I was an English lass. I know you love the English accent so much, and I wanted to cheer you up.
Well, as soon as you have an English accent, your IQ, your credibility goes way up, not your IQ. Like everybody goes, wow, they must know what they're talking about. They've got a British accent. It's weird.
And you know, I was not so hurt because people always get me wrong. But when I last spoke with you and you said the sheriff was waiting, I heard and hauled ass off the phone. I always do hear last when they say the sheriff's coming. But then he was so sweet. But you told him that I was the girl that said that I wrote these songs, but you didn't know if I wrote them or not. But Gray, I wouldn't ever tell you a lie, my dear heart.
Are you going to sing a song? Are you going to sing a song for us?
Yes, if you would like for me to. And I know you invited people to come to talk about the show, the case. But if it's okay, I'll try to sing a little song to take people's mind off of it.
Okay, do it.
Okay, dear heart. Let me prop my phone up. Okay, should I sing it in the English accent, or should I sing it just like that?
Well, you can sing it in whatever accent you want to sing it in.
Okay.
But you got to get the phone closer to your mouth, and also turn down the video audio. Okay.
And see, I tried to turn that off on my computer.
See how I can hear myself in the background? Yeah.
I can too. It's very good.
Also turn down the
See?
video.
Just give me 1 second. I'm
Okay.
sorry, not
Yeah, I can hear myself in the background.
My sweetheart. You know what my name is for you? It's Gray. It's Gray Baby, the Freak Daddy.
Wow, it's like on a loop of some sort.
My name is for you. Okay, there we go.
Hey, there we go.
Now let me find a place to. And I had to, when you said we could call in, I had to find my nail clippers, because you did say you wanted me to play my guitar next time. So, I hadn't been playing for a while. I have been working a lot on pet sitting little animals. But, oh Lord, my guitar's not even in tune good. I should maybe get my other guitar. Now, when the Summers case came along, but this is a sad song. But I had written a song years ago because I always go barefooted, and it's called Farewell Summertime. And Summer really caught my heart because she is a little girl that danced barefoot. Though I'm almost 68 and I dance barefoot and walk the dogs barefoot too.
Well, good.
Because I have to know where the stickers are or if the road's too hot.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, this is my song, Farewell Summertime. It wasn't written about summer. It was written years before poor little summer. But no more will you see these bare feet of mine. Farewell, summertime. I'll be feeling so blue as I put on my shoes. Farewell, summertime. Well, I sure hope this winter you learn to be kind. I sure hope this winter you find peace of mind. So no more will you see these bare feet of mine. Farewell, summertime. Sleep on my shirt and stockings lace my skirt. Farewell, summertime. Lord, I hate to wear shoes, frozen toes. Oh Lord, I'd hate to lose. Farewell, summertime. Well, I sure hope this winter you learn to be kind. I sure hope this winter you find peace of mind. So oh, will you see this Bessie mine? Farewell, summertime. Sure, farewell, summertime. Sure, farewell, farewell, summertime. Farewell, summertime.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Is that you? Is that it?
That's it.
There you go. You got the crowd cheering for you. Hear that?
Oh, well, I hope people will donate for me, because I'm just trying to earn all the money I can and go see my mother before Christmas in Georgia. I live in Texas now.
Yeah.
And I do little pet sitting jobs since I have retired. I'm not the barkeep anymore, but I sing to the dogs.
Nice.
But thank you for letting me share my song.
Well, thanks for calling in.
And thank you, my dear sweet Ray baby. You know, you're the freak daddy, and we're all the freak babies, and we love you. And I must say, but as my that blooming fading flower from over in the UK just tapped my shoulder, and she wanted to speak to you. And she said it really annoys her for you to acknowledge the ill-mannered, the ill-spirited that are just trying to get your attention and to take you away from your more important mission.
Yeah, it's hard though. It's hard because when they're making videos about you, and hundreds of people are watching the videos, and they're all really stupid people that believe what he's saying. Then you almost have to go out and you got to defend yourself.
But you don't have to give life to the devil, and he'll send the people to you. But you don't have to send the people to him.
That's why I don't say his name. I don't say his name.
Yeah. And see, I must admit, I was so very curious, and then I said, no, I don't want to even acknowledge him and give him the honor of my time when you posted the thing, and then my curiosity got the best of me, lad.
Well, you know what's strange though is the. He was over there complaining on his channel that he wasn't getting any extra views off of me. When I would refer to him, I wouldn't say his name, and he got upset that it wasn't giving him views.
And we will not say the name.
So it shows you that all he cared about was getting more publicity for himself. It's pretty weird.
I must tell you, Gray, when I did. When my curiosity got the best of me, and I listened to him even talk for a few sentences, his voice, and you were saying last night, I think, or night before, I've fallen asleep the last couple of nights on the show, but you were saying someone said that your voice was great, and your voice is so delightful. I couldn't even feel so comfy and open my heart and talk to you if you were not so endearing. And
thank you.
And Baby Blue and Chloe, they know it too, and I'm sure your wife knows it too. So they do not even dream if someone says your voice is great, and I had to just go and jerk them up like a gator and sling them by the tail down to the swamp where
there you go.
He met his fate. But that guy, I couldn't even listen to him long enough to see what he said about you, because his voice was so great, and in my skin, I couldn't bear it.
Yeah,
so,
he has that effect on a lot of people.
I did hear what he said, because he was just too annoying of a tone. And it reminded me of that guy that was outside Cassie Laundrie's house, so demanding, like how like he was so entitled for her to answer to him or something.
Mm-hmm.
Some interviewer guy at one point and all that mess, you know.
Mm.
But so much of that, I won't even acknowledge that anymore. But he reminded me of that, and so that is such annoyance. I just have to turn those people off. I take quality, and that's all. And that's why I love you, and I love all your mods are so sweet. Every time I comment or something, they make me feel so special. And all my friends that I've met on the channel, I want to tell you all, I love you all so very, very much. And God bless every one of y'all.
Well,
and God bless you, great baby, you sweet little freak.
well, thank you,
Do
Dreaming.
you mind that I call you that?
No, I don't mind. Thanks, Dreaming Girl. Though you always make everybody happier. You know, there's some people that are just like, oh my God, we can't have a moment of anything else. I gotta. Where's Delphi? Is there a video I gotta hurry up. You know, they don't have the patience for anything that's unrelated. Like right now, you're calling in. You call in every single. Most of the time on. Well, you've called in on a few different Delphi nights and other nights. And normally we like to stick to the. Normally we stick to the topic. What's that?
No, I never heard of Delphi until tonight.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was so touched with the boy in Alabama, and I do like these cases you bring up that everybody's not carrying on about it. But I hadn't heard of the Delphi till tonight, sweetheart.
Oh, maybe it was a bunch of other. Yes, we were covering a few other cases for a while.
Called in when. And mostly I know one time when I called in and it was such a tragic, we were all so upset over that night the sheriff called. That was the second time I called you.
Mm.
That night, and you said the sheriff's waiting to talk, so I said, I'm hightailing it out of here to myself, you know.
Yeah.
I'm funny that way. I was a child of the 70s. You know, I'm an ex-con because I was, and it makes me so mad, these sentences, these rioters at the Capitol.
Sweet
are
freak,
getting,
heart, orange heart, yellow heart,
hold on.
green heart, blue heart.
Yeah, well, they've been in jail for a year without any kind of like help at all. Those people in, a lot of people were just there at the Capitol. You know, because most people that were there just to, like.
Well, the ones that were in there and causing damage, I've seen where one has got 1 month. When I was 19, I went to Led Zeppelin, and I had my guitar. It was one of my first concerts, and I thought maybe I could get them to sign it. And the cops wouldn't let me in the concert because I had a guitar. And I was having a discussion with them, and the next thing I knew, that they had jerked me and took me off to jail.
Yeah.
And said that, that's a whole different thing. But I got a year, and I was just convicted of resisting arrest. But the police were picking on the freaks bad then. Some of them were good, but some of them were bad.
Yeah.
But,
well, who knows? I don't really know what the deal is there.
Yeah, I shouldn't go on and on about that. I just really talk to brighten everybody's night and to give you some love.
Well, thanks, Streaming Girl. Appreciate you calling in.
Okay, Angel. Sorry to take so much time, and
That's
God
okay.
bless you. And I love all y'all, and everybody take good care.
Well, we all love you too. So have a good rest
and
of
happy Thanksgiving, Gray Baby.
You too.
Freak Daddy.
You too. All right.
And all y'all freak babies and freak baby moms.
All right. Have a good one.
All right.
Dreaming
Fairly
Girl.
well.
All right. Bye-bye.
Fairly well until we meet again.
All right. Bye-bye. Dreaming Girl. All right. I got to go use the restroom right now. Which always makes me happier, though. I can tell you that. So here, you can listen to some hip-hop for a second. How dare you, Gray? There we go. There we go. Alright. And by the way, if you guys would like to help out the channel, I'd appreciate it. We've kind of had some slower nights for the last, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them, so we're slowing down. I was hoping to keep up the similar pace. But, you know, things are the way they are sometimes. And again, you know how it works. The helping the channel and charities at the same time. Alright, so let me see. I think I've got a another. I thought I had a call coming. Where is it? There it is. Alright, 570. Yeah, hi, how you doing, Greg? Pretty good. Who's this?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, what's going on?
I got your station about 6 months ago, and I really started watching you, and I think you do a lot of good work. The comment I had today was, how do you think this clown got out of there? My theory is I think he got up on that highway and walked out, because wouldn't he look weird, like soaking wet? We didn't want to risk walking past people. It's February, especially.
Yeah, I think it makes sense that he went back through the cemetery and then down 300, because when people are driving, they're not paying attention to details on a person.
Right.
You know?
And like I saw in a previous podcast, you were saying that there's some rumors or stories out that maybe some of those cameras on those buildings may have seen, not clearly, but may have seen someone walking past, and that may have looked, that may have given someone a better timeline as to when they went back to their car or something like that.
Well, the one guy was saying, he told me that they saw a guy on a bike, but he returned in a reasonable amount of time. So that makes you think that they must have a camera somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good theory.
I don't know. It might be a camera. I know there's a camera on this. There's a building about, let's see, from where they were dropped off towards the CPS building. It's about 800 feet west of there, and it goes to the. It's heading towards the abandoned CPS building. There's a building that has a camera that faces right towards that West 300 North, and I'm just wondering, on that road, maybe they even have somebody that looks like it could be the suspect walking by. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's just.
I just thought it would be weird for him to take a risk like that, to go back on the road he came in the past with.
Hold on a second.
I assume maybe he saw some people. But to be soaking, you had to be wet or something. So I just thought that was kind of. I mean, he must have took that highway. That's my only.
Well, theory. It wouldn't be like soaking wet. I mean, it'd be wet from like maybe knees or
the waist down. Yeah.
Maybe. Well, it wouldn't even. It's not even really that deep on it. It's like maybe halfway between the knees and the waist, or maybe even just knees if you went down further down and then cut across.
Yeah. I would, without getting too graphic into it, but do you think it's possible maybe he killed them in the water, like in the shallows there, and then drag them up, because there's a shoe in that one spot where there might have been something that happened there?
Well, I think it was just more like they tried to run away maybe at that point, because Libby weighed about 200 pounds, so I don't think it'd be very likely that somebody would be able to pull her up that bank if she wasn't alive.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to be
Right.
You know, but they do think apparently the person's pretty strong because he dragged her for a bit. Apparently, that's what somebody said.
Right.
But we don't know if that's accurate or not. But everything.
So
else,
you think he used the gun? You think he used the gun to like, okay, we're going across the stream type thing?
Yeah, I think he wanted to get them down the hill over here. And my theory is that there's this little area right back in like a I don't know, when you go down the hill and then you're about to cross the river, if you go to your right, if you're heading towards the river, there's this little area that's kind of absolutely hidden from everywhere in sort of a
I saw that on the maps you do. That's probably a good theory too.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe they were going to go there, and then maybe the kids made a run for it, and maybe that's when the shoe came off, and then he chased them, or he just forced them across there originally. I mean, we just don't really know the answer. They probably have a better idea of that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fascinating case, and I really appreciate all the work you do on it, and the imagery is phenomenal. It's great. It's good work, and I'll continue watching your show.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for
all right.
actually
Take care, bud.
liking it.
See you later.
All right, thanks. All right, see you.
Thanks.
Bye. Hey, thanks, Matt Pavia and Bronco fan Amber. Susanna, you always call in on Delphi night, right?
Thanks, Matt Pavia.
707? You got to turn down the audio.
I think I have done.
You think I have done? All right, cool. What's going on?
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you.
Hello, Gray. It's Susanna.
I know.
The missing Susanna.
I could tell. Yeah, I know what your voice.
Yeah,
is.
everyone can tell. Yeah. So I'm just calling in because I keep saying it. Right now we have theories and we rehash them and rehash them, and with some idiots. Right now, it's being rehashed so much by them that there are other idiots who think it's the truth, if you're following me. And I just wish that law enforcement would toss out some more bait for people to chew on, to get rid of what they're chewing on now, which is just total bunk.
It would be cool if they came out and just debunked everybody. I think that'd be
nice.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would. It would be nice if they did a level set,
I think it'd be cool if they said information that, I wouldn't mind if something that I think turned out to not be, it isn't true or something, or it's not like, I can't say true, like a theory that I have, if they could say something that made me realize that's not what happened, then I might think of something else, right? But instead, you kind of get, you're stuck.
You go with what in your own mind you feel is logical and possible and likely.
Well, but a lot of people go with what's most sensationalistic and creepy sounding instead of what's more logical.
Exactly. It comes to the point where the girls they were just targets of opportunity, and people don't get that. And some people say, there was some drug connection. Well, there was none of that, definitely. Well, sorry, someone just haunted me. How dare they? Anywho, so I just wish they would throw out some more tidbits also, because this thing is basically what you would call stalled. Everyone's just chewing around the same old piece of steak, and it's getting kind of...
Yeah, what I'm trying to do when I do these shows is just kind of lay out all the stuff that... kind of the known basic information for people that hadn't heard of it or something. I don't really have anything.
Show.
And it's always the same. If you notice, I'm not going to sit there and start inventing stuff. I've added stuff over the years that are, things that can't come in, like that Derrick was there for 20 minutes of the time, that the killer was there, the bike deal, the
horse,
the Garrett Kurtz thing. I mean, but I don't really go into that too much, but
no, I don't either.
Yeah.
I just thought it was amusing. Yeah, what you do though is that every time you do one of these shows, there is a number of people who come on and listen, and so you set a good number of people straight, and put them back on the true path as opposed to out being heathens and not understanding. So the show, that has a great deal of value. Just repeating the logical to people who have never heard the logical before. And there's some people who will never be logical, but there are a number of people who are logical, and you're catching them. So I think that's, of service, and everybody should share on this channel, period, but especially share the Delphi shows, the Delphi programs, because people are going to learn something from them and hopefully take it within themselves and process it properly. I'm just one of the people who would like to see law enforcement throw out another tidbit or two, because upping the reward is not going to accomplish anything. It's big enough now.
Yeah, the reward's
sweetening that
not going to do anything.
No, it does nothing.
I don't think they do what good anyways. Like I think rewards very rarely have an effect on it. You can even look it up, the studies. But what's weird is you get all these YouTubers thinking it's let me donate, let's get the reward up.
Yeah.
And it's like it doesn't really do anything. Try to do something like give money to like NCMEC or Texas Equisearch, something like that.
Yeah, any one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just strange.
The reward only works if you think that the person involved, the victim, is still alive. Then, the reward has value. Then, if there's proof of life, then sure, a reward has value. But in this case, the girls are dead, and once you hit that reward up to over $100,000, that's enough.
Yeah.
It's useless to keep hopping it up, and then the last time they hopped it up, it was going to be this big Delphi announcement, right? And I was sitting there thinking, oh good, they're going to say something important, and the only important thing they said is there's more money in the reward. And I said, oh pooh.
Yeah, well, we were talking to I remember talking to Robert Ives, and he said that he thinks there's more information that they could release. And he doesn't agree with their belief that they can't release it, and that's even after the 2019 press conference. So it's obviously there's more stuff that they could release, but I think they're trying a different method currently. So maybe we're not going to hear anything for a while.
Yeah, that. And then, of course, not hearing anything for a while just keeps the Delphi mystery cottage industry that some of these idiots have. The idiot ones, not the valid ones like this channel. It just keeps that cottage industry growing and going. And then, gives people some validity. And it's just bloody annoying to me, about all that. I wish they would. It's annoying also, as annoying as poor Summer Wells. The child's dead. And, us rehashing it isn't going to bring her back either. So I just wish that we would get a little bit more information from the law enforcement side about both cases, because in both cases they know more, I believe, than they're saying. For sure, at least they have to know more, I think. And what else? That's about it. I just wish they would send out a little more tidbits. They don't. And, if there's multiple signatures, and Robert Ives said signatures, he didn't say signature.
Yeah, he said there was two or three things that he would consider to be signatures. But the thing is, signatures is kind of, it's not really this perfectly neat little thing, because you can actually have part of your MO be a signature too. Like if you use, let's say the person used, some weird,
ligature.
a weird kind of saw every single time, and then he would put each of the body parts in a specific sort of bag, and then wrap it up. I mean, maybe at that point you go, well, that could be it's sort of like a signature too, or is it purely? Because I guess signatures are things that aren't necessary to commit the crime itself. So I think there's obviously overlap in what a signature is. So maybe he calls it a signature, Ives does, but maybe the FBI might not look at it like that. See what I'm saying?
That's true. Yeah. That's quite true. You know, you just have to believe that it might. I'm of the opinion, I'm sitting on it right now, is that there's people out there, you know, that know who did it. I really do believe that this person has someone in his life who knows he did it. And I think law enforcement might be thinking that too, based on their statements. If we knew a bit more, and I'm not saying we need to know the gory details, but if there was more known that made it very obvious that beyond two little girls being murdered, how heinous the method was of the murder, it could actually spur someone into having a bit of a conscience, or maybe worrying about their own back. I don't know. You know, I think there's value sometimes in horrifying people. And they do that in the UK with some regularity, and it seems to have some promise to the method that you know, you can horrify people into action. You know, so that's just what what I'm thinking is horrify some people.
Well, I think the media and law enforcement should more readily show people in some cases the victims, like for example, like during the war on terror, they should have shown it more to people so that people saw what was actually happening, so that they would have resolve instead of like, oh, you know, it's okay. Maybe. You know, when you see people, you know, 40 people put into a cage and then drown in a swimming pool, and put them in the water for 20 minutes, and then you pull them out and their bodies are still kind of gasping, but they're not alive anymore. You know, when you see shit like that, then you think, man, think how horrible that is. But people just hear about it and they go, oh, yeah. Hey, what are you doing? Are you going to play tennis later? You know, it's just really sucks, right? But if you see it, you don't want to play tennis that day, and you think about it, right?
Exactly. You know, you're not going to go off, you know, and go off out to dinner and eat Chinese takeaway if you see something like that. But if you just hear it, you know, it goes in one ear and you process it, you say, well, that's bloody awful, you know, it's terrible. But then most people don't go farther than that. They can't personalize words. You can basically personalize what you see, or if you hear the actual event. But if you're just personalizing words, it's very difficult psychologically. It doesn't make the same kind of imprint.
Yeah, no.
And I wish they would just.
They need to show it.
I wish they need to. They need more. People need to see the reality of terrible experiences. Because right now we have a generation, apparently, of people who can't stand the concept of terrible experiences. I mean, when you go into a...
Well, for example, a good example would be, and I remember I was actually talking to Chasing about it when her husband was really sick and on the verge of being put on a ventilator in the COVID situation, is I think they need to show what's going on with these people to really make people think, wow, because you hear about, that person, it wouldn't be me, it wouldn't be me. But I think if they documented how these are just regular people and how they're in there and they can barely breathe and it's just absolutely horrible and all the ventilation, and you go all the way to when they die, I think if you showed that on a television program, it might make some people be like, wow, okay, I get it, you know, or something.
You might up the vaccine. Yeah, you put up the vaccine rates, you know. Now, my family, everyone's vaccinated because, when COVID first started, my brother sadly passed away from it, and none of us were able to get to him. So it's burned on our psyche. You get vaccinated. You do the.
Yeah, I got two of them, man. I went the other day. I got the flu shot in my right shoulder, and then I said, well, hey, what about my booster for for Pfizer? And she said, oh yeah, just go check in right there at the pharmacy. And I walked over there, and like 30 minutes later, they said to show up, and I showed up, and then boom, it went in my left arm, and I could barely use either. Well, my right arm was never really that sore, but my left arm was really sore for like 2 days.
You might not have been able to drive home,
Yeah.
would have been. But people said how horrible we were because we vaccinated our son who was 6 and our 2 girls who were 15. And we did that several months ago when we got the first vaccine. And people said, well, aren't you worried? And I said, I'm not worried about the effect of the vaccine on them. I have enough understanding of how it works. I've talked to enough people. And as it turns out, I was perfectly correct in what we did. And I'm very comfortable having done it. And they're going to get their booster shot too wait now until I get some more results on that. But I have no problem giving them Pfizer.
Yeah.
I might not have given them AstraZeneca like we have, in the UK, but I had access to Pfizer, and I got my Pfizer from Tanzania. But anyway,
nice.
Tanzania for some other people. But anyway, I wish they would fill out some more information for us to chew on, or explicitly deny some stupidity. They can do that without harming their case. They can come out and deny.
Yeah.
Specifically deny.
I wonder I always wonder what their motivation is to not debunk stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that. They always just, hey, we're just not commenting. Why not, though? Can you please just comment on debunk the madness? They try sometimes. I guess what it is it would be too difficult to debunk the number of moronic comments that are made. Like what would make? I guess you could have like buckets.
Them.
You could have buckets of stuff that are like really popular dumb thoughts, and maybe they could do something. But
I'd wish you still have people who bring up the bloke with the old bloke. They say, well, who had land next door, that he done it. Well, no, he didn't do it. The police know he didn't do it.
But what is that?
But
Hold
still
on.
people are talking about he did it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
There's people still saying he did it. There's people who are saying a guy who was in prison at the time did it. Well, excuse me. Find me a UFO if that's possible. And people still say it, and it's ridiculous. And then they go off with their little minions, and the little minions are refusing to believe what is actually the truth.
Yeah.
So, anywho, we had to come to the UK because my husband was asked to, it's Remembrance Week for Armistice for World War One, and my husband had to lay a ceremonial wreath on the 11th and again on the Sunday. So we were doing that. And everyone should honor your veterans wherever you live in the world. Remember that the only reason you are here talking on this channel is because someone else was injured or died or served for you.
That's right.
And make that precious. These people need to be taken care of exquisitely because of their service to us, and we need never to forget them, no matter how back far you go.
That's
and even if you don't like the country now, if you don't like your country now, that doesn't matter because they served in the past.
Yep.
And people need to remember that too. So bless you all, guys. I'm going off to go home, or not home, or back anyway to where my children are, and take care.
All right. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Susanna McGillipadrig. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think it would matter at all if he overheard them say, "Oh, Dad's picking us up at this time." Because if he was right there when they got dropped off, when they would be talking about that, then he knew that they were dropped off and alone. So it really doesn't, it doesn't mean anything. It's like overthinking a little bit. Let's see. I don't know. I think it's just, what difference would it make though? At this point, it is what it is. It all happened. Let's see. Do you guys think the down the hill sounds very threatening? No. He just goes, "Hey guys, down the hill." It's amazing some of the stuff people say they hear. Another sick thing that happens in these dirtbags want to rape. They can't get it up. Okay, Big Daddy. All right. Let's see. Yeah, get down the hill. Get down. I think it's like you can barely hear the G part. It's like, get down the hill. Wow, I sound just like it. Whoa. Thanks, Jack. Jack and Jill went up the hill each with $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50. Ooh. I like that sound effect. What's wrong, Lee D? Jeez. Alright, I got some more clips here. Was that mean, Lee D? Are you sending me to prison? Yeah, every add bass or treble. Huh? I think it's fine. No, they didn't add anything to it. That's what it sounds like. They just tried to get rid of some of the ambient sound effects. No, I don't think it. Listen, he didn't know that they were going to get picked up. Okay, there's no evidence that he knew that they were going to get picked up. He hasn't been caught. He's gotten away with it for 5 years. It just is what it is. Okay. So later on, if he says, "Oh yeah, I heard him say," then it'll be really important. But we don't know. What is he standing right in the parking lot there? Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, so you throwing me in the jail with a -20? Look at that, everybody. Lee D just threw me in jail as a -20. Because
Gray, you're so mean. Look at the way Gray treats his subs.
yeah. Hey, look at that. TTJO Tracy got me. Let's see. So Lee D was that's probably like 15 something. But that's Canadian 10, so I'm not really sure what that rounds out to. So I think we're still down about -6. Knows who it is, and it could be Karen. Very well could be that they are onto somebody. I have a theory about one of the things that have been said that points to that. And I'll tell you in a minute. Because in 2019, I'm still in prison though, so I can't show you anything. Unfortunately. Canadian 10 is about 50 cents. No, it's not. I think it's like, I don't even know. Yeah, but I'm stuck. Darn it. We're already negative 500 for the night anyways. All right, so now we're like -4, I think. Thank you, JD, Adniram, TTJO Tracy, Lee D, I think. Oh, it's okay. I mean, I'm just saying, you know. Hey, Lee D's the one that set up such a high bar. You know, she threw me in there for -15. So. Oh, well, there you go. Now, Mag threw that and walked away from it. How come every time you walk away, Mag, I'm in jail? How does that always happen? Anyways, I'm out now. Thank you. She always gets me the hell out of there. Oh, and there's Bronco Fan Amber. Now I can go get with some of Mags and Bronco, I can go get a meal and a nice hotel. Thank you very much. Thank you. Tickets for the missing California City Play. Oh, really? Yeah. And what's the raffle ticket for? Don't tell me it's the reward fund. Oh, boy. Let's see. I don't think they know unless it's something. All right, so let me tell you this part here. I was going to say. Anyways, thank you very much, Bronco Fan Amber and Mag, at the end there to get me the hell out of prison finally, and Adniram, JD, TTJO Tracy, and Lee D, the ornery little rascal who put me in the prison. All right. Alright, so let's see. What do we got? Alright, so in 2019, that's when law enforcement released 3 key things. One was the new sketch of a younger looking person. But then Carter said, well, it's in between both sketches. So then for me, it just negates any sketch at all. Once that was said, I just went, forget it. Yeah. Then they also said that they want to know who the driver was of a vehicle that was parked at the abandoned CPS building. Now, this one guy I talked to, he said at like 8 in the morning, 8:15, he saw a car here, and then at 2:15 in the afternoon, it was still right there. But then later, months after he told me that, he was at a fair or something, and he said that an officer told him, well, no, it wasn't that car. There was a car that was backed in to the CPS building here that was blocking the light, so you couldn't see the license plate. Okay, but anyways, they want to know who the driver of the vehicle was that was parked at the abandoned CPS building. Well, to me, that could mean that they're aware of the vehicle type, and they have a suspect that actually has that vehicle type. And that press conference was to tell him that we just want to know who the driver was, not what type of vehicle it was. And so that made him think, oh shit. So they know the vehicle, and they want to see if he'll quickly get rid of that vehicle. Will he go out there, and did he try to sell it, move it around, do something with it? That's just a theory that I've got. I don't know if that's true or anything, but what a weird thing to say at a press conference, to say we want to know who the driver is of the vehicle, but not give out any information about what type of vehicle it was. See, that was a very odd statement. Now, could that just be that they worded it strangely, because originally Carter said the abandoned vehicle at the CPS building? Well, that was an error. He meant to say abandoned CPS building. Because if it was an abandoned vehicle, well, they'd know exactly who owned it and everything about it. All right. So let's see what else we got in here. I got some other little clips that I dug through my file and found things that I haven't watched in a while. Yeah, like this one.
Yeah, Sergeant Tony Slocum is joining us now with Indiana State Police. He is in Delphi right now. Thanks so much for being with us, Sergeant. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you covering this very important story.
And Sergeant, we did cover it. We brought it live to our viewers this morning when you addressed reporters there this morning. Honestly, probably one of the very toughest news conferences I've listened to.
14th,
I can only imagine what it was like participating in that. But to know on that video
maybe it was
that the young murder victim here, Abby, had the recording running as she is essentially encountering her killer. Can you talk to us? I know it's sensitive, but describe maybe how much interaction you believe she may have had moments up to her death.
Well, the message that you hear there is actually from Liberty German's cell phone. And for a young person, 14 years of age, to have the composure to activate the video system on her phone at a time when she probably believed she was in immense danger is just astounding. There's no doubt in my mind that this young lady is a hero and should be commended for her actions, and hopefully the evidence that she has provided by being so mentally tough to do this will help us catch the murderer of Liberty German and Abigail Williams.
Sergeant, do you have any idea, in just listening to the audio and video that you do have, perhaps even some that we haven't yet seen, do you have any idea at what moment this recording took place before those teenagers were killed? Do we know the timeline of, was it a while before? Was it, right before? I guess, can you kind of describe at what point does this moment happen?
Well, obviously this is evidence from a larger part of the investigation that we're trying to keep close to the vest. It was before, obviously, the young ladies were murdered, but we're not going to release about how long that time frame was. But the young ladies were scheduled to be on the trail for a couple hours. They were dropped off by a family member, and they were supposed to be picked up by a family member. So obviously, this very important piece of evidence that we released today is going to hopefully be the one piece of the puzzle that solves this case for us.
Sergeant Slocum, we also learned today that that image we've been seeing of the person who you now call a primary suspect in these murders here actually came from that same
so that was the one that was on the 22nd. That was 9 days later. This is like the day after the press conference on the 22nd, I think.
Phone. And as we look at that, it's really hard to tell specifically as you look at him. Is he wearing a hat? Is that his hair that we're seeing? Do you have some sense of his height, his build, who people can specifically be kind of on the lookout?
How come they never released the exact?
Unfortunately, we do not have the height and weight at this time. But it appears to me he's wearing blue jeans, a blue jacket and or a coat, and it appears to me that he has a hoodie on.
Yeah, me
and
too.
This person is the main suspect in our case. So anyone who might have information
he's not the main suspect. He is the killer, that guy. Right?
About this individual, whether it might be someone you work with.
Yeah, I've only remember seeing it a long time ago, Mac.
Who's not where they were supposed to be on Monday, or their behavior has changed. Maybe they're following this case very closely. And then they match that description. That is someone we want to know about, and we appreciate if anyone
I found this in my folders.
Person to call our tip line.
And Sergeant, I know a lot of folks watching right now really just have this big question on their minds. Was this random? Was this targeted? How do you think that this suspect came upon the girls? We're looking at the picture right now. We can see that he's obviously walking along the same area that they would walk along. How do you believe right now that you can share with us that he came across these girls?
Well, unfortunately, that's part of our investigation. That part of the Delphi area, Carroll County area, is right off the Hoosier Heartland Highway corridor, not very far from I-65. So it's possible that person could be from out of the area, but we're still looking at the fact that it could be someone local. Unfortunately, at this time in our investigation, we do not know where that individual was from, but I can let the families of Liberty German and Abigail Williams know that they're investigators right now and have been for over a week now, trying to get the person in custody who murdered their beautiful young teenage daughters.
Sergeant Tony Slocum with Indiana State Police. We know you have a lot of law enforcement resources, a lot of partners that are all working together, focused on this singular task, and we can't wait to hear when you've announced an arrest. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon.
Obviously, if you recognize...
Again, thank you for covering this.
Thank you so much, Sergeant. Obviously, if you recognize the man in the picture that you've been seeing over the course of the last couple of days, or if you recognize the voice in that recording, again, we do have it online for you at fox59.com. Please call investigators like Sergeant Tony Slocum. Police really need to hear from you.
Also, if you've noticed anything strange, maybe a neighbor, a family member, even acquaintance, someone who just doesn't seem right since last week, let police know. Here's both the tip line phone number and the new email address that was set up today for any anonymous tips.
And the reward, there is a reward for information leading to an arrest now. It is up to $41,000, and it seems like it continues to climb day after day. $41,000 is that reward. Again, if you know anything,
such a waste of money. Just put it. You know what they should just have is a standard reward of like $25,000. That's it. There's no reward funds that get built up, and you either take it or leave it. I just don't think they do anything, and you have $500,000 in there, and then what happens to the money after that? Where does it go to some? Doesn't go back to the people. That's for sure.
I want to protect the integrity of the investigation.
So there's another one you might not have seen before either. I found some of these in these folders that I have.
7 months since 2 young girls in Delphi
well, thanks
were
to this
murdered.
account for the PayPal.
All this time later,
and,
there are no arrests, and that means no closure for the families of Libby German and Abby Williams.
Yeah, this afternoon I sat down with those family members to talk about the
Mag
investigation.
sent a PayPal, an early generous one.
What are they telling you about the investigation?
They're really not more than what they tell the public, to be honest with you.
Paul Leonard, thank you, on PayPal. So let's watch. Here we go. This is one that you probably haven't seen either.
It means no closure for the families of Libby German and Abby Williams.
Yeah, this afternoon I sat down with those family members to talk about the investigation. What are they telling you about the investigation?
They're really not more than what they tell the public, to be honest with you, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I want to protect the integrity of the investigation. I mean, the most important thing for this, or for us, is to catch this guy.
Becky, do you feel that investigators are any closer today to solving this case?
Yes.
What makes you say that?
Because I have faith in them. I know they're working diligently. I know they're getting rid
this is like way long time
tips,
ago.
going through all the tips because we've gotten calls on different things.
Does this guy look familiar to any of you? Does the voice sound familiar to any of you?
We all came in to hear the audio, and then when we came in to see the sketch, and we all, I'm sure, held our breath and went, oh.
See, they didn't just come in to hear well, they came in. Here's what the family did. So Mike, Becky, and Anna's Abby's mom, the one that all three of those people you just saw there, they came in because law enforcement they couldn't make out some of the words that the girls were saying in the video. So they allowed the family to watch the video and try to determine what was said at various points. And they got to see it up until, like down the hill. All right. Now, is there more after down the hill? I think there probably is. And obviously, I think there's probably some video prior to the when you first see, the video that we see of the killer. I'm sure there's some video that led up to where it got more stable and they could break it down. Hey, no, Mike, you know what? Hey, Roberts, you know who the sketch looks like? Probably you. Look in the mirror and really focus. I think you might be onto something. Yeah. Yeah, let's see.
I hope, but at the same time, you hope you don't. You hope this isn't your neighbor.
The fact that these girls were supposed to go back to school and start, what was that like?
First day was tough. This was going to be their first day of high school. Libby was going to walk into school with her sister, both of them in high school that day. And she didn't go. That was a rough day.
Interview tonight at 11.
You know, I the part that I don't think they should ever release, maybe at a trial you'd hear it, but if there was stuff where, you know, the reason I kept this part right here is this is crazy too. This shot right here shows the entire crime scene, but you can't see it because this is later. But I mean, it's right there. There's the little. I mean, the crime scene's right here. There's the. I think that's the bent tree right there. There's a little sandbar, and then that means right. I think this is the area right there. But that means they could have recorded a lot of stuff that you really wouldn't want to hear. You know, stuff like pleading or, you know, if it kept recording. So you can just use your imagination. If the phone was still recording for another 15 minutes, there's probably a lot of stuff you wouldn't want family members to be listening to. But if it exists and they make an arrest, it'll be played at a trial. There's no doubt about it. Well, we don't know if it does or not. We don't know if that exists, though. That's the thing. I'm thinking that it didn't just end suddenly after Down the Hill. There's got to be more time. How long it went, I don't know. And I think there's other videos that they took that day, but it doesn't show the killer. If it did, they would have put it out there. Or it's even further away and it doesn't help anymore. Like, what if Libby was filming the guy for a minute, but they only released the part that was the closest to the camera because, you know, that's the best chance of somebody identifying him, and they stabilized it. But like if the person was for another minute, would have been another 30, 40, 50, 60 yards out there, and maybe 100 yards. You know, it wouldn't be any clearer, and maybe it would even be shakier because, you know, it's hard to stabilize on when you're filming somebody so far away. Yeah, they said, is he still following? I just think that at one point they said something like, there's a creepy guy, and then later they said, is he still following? Is he following us? And then Libby says, uh-huh. I mean, I actually have somebody who, let me go to this. Hold on a second. I'll read it to you guys again. But this shot right here is very clear, and yeah, it's just right down in there. That's a shot the helicopters wouldn't have filmed the day they found him, because they were right in there. This is where Julie Melvin was, about right where my mouse is. That's the bent tree. So that means probably right there, like right in this area is the crime scene. And so maybe like right in there would be where it happened.
Investigators still looking for tips in this case, so if you have any information that can help, call the tip line you see on your screen. You don't have to give your name. We've got this number and a tip line email address posted at WTHR.com/Delphi.
All right. So let me play. It's not something I can play. I have to read it. Sorry. This is more drone footage. Let me play this first, though. Yeah, I mean, that's even way... I mean, it's right there. See, there's the bent tree. But you know what really just sucks is their little chyron, or graphic here, covers it.
And Libby German.
It's like right in there. And this is the day, though, that they're out there, because there's the law enforcement videos parked exactly the same as they were in the RTV6 video, which is this one right here. Here, watch. There's a certain point where you go around and then you can see. There it is. See? Exactly the same thing. One car up there. 1, 2, 3. Then go back to this one. There's the truck up. 1, 2, 3. So this shot right here, this drone camera, it actually, if you could see it clear, law enforcement should be at the crime scene. If this wasn't there, that graphic, you would be able to see people at the crime scene right there. All right, so let me read to you what I got from somebody who's friends with one of the people who watched the video, okay? And this person was told what they got to see, okay? So she said that Annie saw the rest of the video. You know, yeah, meaning, well, not when you say the rest of, I mean, she just saw whatever they wanted her to see. But it says, there isn't much. We already knew, though they want him to think, okay, they think that, I don't know. She's saying that they want the person to think that there's more video, but she wouldn't have been told if there was more or not. I guarantee it. So this is one of the parts right here. It says she looks up. So this is Abby. She looks up at Libby and says, "He's right behind me, isn't he?" So that's why I think there was a creepy guy before. Right, like there was some sort of earlier they'd seen the creepy guy, and then they say he's right. But it could be that they're watching this guy, obviously, cross the bridge. He's been walking for a while, and then eventually he catches up, and she says, "He's right behind me, isn't he?" And then she hurries. Abby hurries. So Libby's already off the other end of the bridge, right? And then at that point, Abby hurries to the other end. The girls are discussing which way to go. Something about, there's two ways. Should we go that way or that way? It's very hard to hear, is what she was told. Then Abby says, "Is that a gun? He's got a gun." All right, boom. And then law enforcement believes they hear a click, and that's why it's very likely that there was a gun. Looks like he's even propping a gun up underneath the blue jacket, perhaps even having it inside the hoodie pocket, propping it up. Okay. He says, "Hey, Libby." Okay. Then Abby says, "Is that a gun? He's got a gun." And he says, "Hey." And then Libby says, He says, "Down the hill, gun cocks." And see, you know what's crazy about this? See how it says, he says, "Hey," right? That's way before. I've had this since 2017. That's way before they released the, "Hey guys." Remember? Because that was the second thing they released in 2019. So that gives a lot of validity, don't you agree, to this thing that I'm reading? Because she says it, he says, "Hey," and then Libby says, So like, "Hey guys, down the hill," right? See, that's what I'm saying. This right here gave us a hint about the "hey" 4 years ago. Yeah, so it says, he says, "Hey," Libby says, he says, "Down the hill, gun cocks." They had to tell her that's what was on the gun. That's what that was, the gun sound. Meaning they told Anna that. Yeah. And it says, "This is gone." Then it's gone. Annie says she thinks she ran out of storage. It wasn't like she shut it off or anything. Yeah, so she just thinks that. I think that they just showed him what they wanted to, she got to see what they wanted her to see. Then I said, so the person knew them? Because I misheard what they wrote. So there are witnesses placing him there also, and he didn't bother them, and they were alone. Huh, that's an interesting statement. So there are witnesses placing him there. Let me see. Then it's gone. They don't think better than... They don't think so. Also, he was seen, but no one can draw a picture that's better than what's available. So there are witnesses placing him there also, and he didn't bother them, and they were alone. Were they female, or? For some reason, they think he's okay, so now in this case, they're saying they think that he specifically targeted them. So maybe he was there looking for a specific type then. It says, for some reason, they think he specifically targeted them. There is absolutely no gunshot wounds anywhere on the girls. So there you go. That is something that she knows. She said it made her sick to listen to his voice. He had no emotion. She couldn't explain it. From what Annie says, it was really nervous. The police wonder if the girls spoke to him on the way in. Boom. See, that's why the creepy guy came in. That's all I know. Annie has no clue who he is. She believes she could somewhat... She's said most of these things since then, by the way. They wouldn't answer a lot of her questions. Let's see, what else we got? Oh, well, he mentions Holman. What part? Detectives of some... They were state police detectives. No, we can't tell. That was a long time ago, 4 years ago. Yes, and Annie couldn't pick it up herself. Someone told her. Oh, about the click sound. Oh yeah, the down the hill. So you couldn't hear it. They had to really enhance it to start hearing some of the, like down the hill and hey guys. She said he was moving fast too for being on that bridge. So maybe that's another reason they think he's local. She said the voice, like when she gets excited or mad and you can get that quiver, she said there is nothing. No emotion at all. It sounds a lot different being enhanced in tone. I think he's right. Well, she's just giving me opinion. Right-handed. I do too. The officer also told her they were 8 to 10 feet apart, they believe. He dropped one of the others. Oh, wow. Let's see. So what does this say? Wasn't sure about the blue thing in one of the images, but in discussion cited that it could be left part of Abby's jacket. I think he's right-handed. The officer also told her they were 8 to 10 feet apart. They believe he dropped one, and the other tried to get away, but did not tell her... Oh, when they were found, they were 8 feet apart. They believe he dropped one, and the other tried to get away, but did not tell her which was which. No, I think she's talking about 8 feet apart on the bridge. So Libby's off the end of the bridge, and Abby's 8 feet away, still on the bridge, and then the killer's behind. There you go. That's what she's saying. The reason I believed he's right-handed is because Abby's left side was... well, I can't say that. That's why I use... Didn't think that. Wow, there's some stuff in here I forgot that was even in here. Can't really say it. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Drop one. I don't know. She was hard to understand sometimes. Yeah. So there was no sexual assault, it sounds like. I mean, in terms of a rape or something. They didn't have time to do anything, like a deer in the headlights, she said. Let's see. Sent to me. I thought it looked huge, but... I'm sorry, I'm mumbling stuff. I'm trying to figure out what I... Yeah, maybe. I don't know if that's what they mean. They said 8 feet apart. Maybe they were... Because she kind of combined stuff together, so it's hard to tell what she was talking about. Yeah. Man, I don't remember having all this extra stuff in there. Something, and it's killing me. Just gonna knock it out there. I know it. Oh, yeah. Alright, anyways, I'm gonna get out of that segment there. But, you know, stuff in there that I, you know, was not supposed to say or whatever, but I'm just reading an email, a Facebook exchange between me and somebody who talked to one of the, one of the people that saw the video. And, you know, was one of the parents, I think it was Anna. Anna said most of those things so far on TV, so she's given most out of anybody in terms of what was on the video.
Talking about where the search took place today, Drone Cam 13 flew over the rural area where 13-year-old Abby Williams and Libby German went missing yesterday afternoon. They were last seen near an abandoned railroad bridge and where family members say they had gone hiking. Eyewitness News reporter Rich Van Wyk joins me now. And Libby German went...
Yeah, and this is that RTV6 video that we've seen a million times. You know, this is when, right after they were found, and they're searching around. It's like 30-something minutes long. So many videos were made out of this footage to try to pretend they could see stuff. It was awesome. Anyways, let me go back to that very first one. Yeah, this one here I hadn't seen. I mean, I've seen it obviously because I have it. I just forgot about it. This one right here is crazy because right there is the crime scene. Like one of these spots, they were either found right there, here, right there, but right here is where they, because there's the other side of the tape. That's the closest side. And the crime scene is going to be in the middle of it, and it's just right in here. That's, 50 feet's probably in this area, or, maybe right there. Isn't that wild? Yeah, so this one's interesting. And there's the Deer Creek. That's where Julie Melvin was standing, right over there. I think that might even be the bent tree, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to tell. What email are you talking about, ENZ? No idea what you're talking about. I just read you the stuff I wanted you to hear. So it wasn't an email, though. It was a Facebook text messaging. 4 years, or 2017, so probably almost 5 years ago at this point. Yeah, 5 years, yeah. And? Why would that make you almost faint? Jesus. You knew the bridge is there. It's just right there. Yeah, I always tell people, if when you follow true crime, if you cry and you can't sleep at night, like you cry all the time, and you can't sleep at night, and you're just like, oh, I had chills, I can't sleep at night, I haven't slept in days. Do never follow it again, because you're not helping anybody. You're not doing anything useful at all, and it's bad for you. It's horrible for you. If you're not sleeping like 4 days in a row because you're just so engrossed in a crime, you should try to keep your mind just, when you think about stuff, you might feel bad and stuff like that. But as soon as those thoughts are over, get back to just thinking about a case in a factual way. I mean, could you imagine if I was trying to do this channel and I couldn't sleep for days and I was crying over all the cases? I wouldn't be able to do it. I know that offends people when I tell you that, but I'm really trying to look out for you. If you feel that way, then you shouldn't do it because it's not good for you. Yeah, I mean, there's always a case here and there that makes you upset about something, but if you sit there and keep crying and you can't sleep, that's what I'm saying, Zozo, not about crying. I've gotten upset too thinking about, this case has made me upset just when I, sit around and I visualize what they might have gone through, but then just minutes later, I am able to do something else. The first sketch was created mainly off of the video, and that's it. The first one released. The second one was based off of, it was actually the first sketch made, but the second one released. Yeah, but so a lot of people come in and they try to virtue signal and they go, "Oh, I haven't slept in days. I've been bawling my eyes out for 4 days straight." And it's like, wow, what are you doing? You're a lunatic. Yeah, that was awesome that Cleo was rescued. And I guess crying when it's a happy thing's good. It's different. Yeah, people, it was an advertised park, a place to hike. You weren't supposed to cross the bridge, but people did it. Not very, people didn't cross that bridge as much until after the case happened. They would walk maybe a third of the way and then turn around. Yeah, I mean, everybody feels bad. See, look at, you guys see Zozo and TTJO Tracy and everybody. You're not listening again to what I'm trying to tell you. Okay? I just said, people cry, everybody gets upset about something. But it's when you can't sleep for 4 days and you're bawling 24/7 that people claim. Those are the people that shouldn't be even looking at this stuff. You get what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying people don't get upset about something. It happens all the time. I've gotten upset about cases. But minutes later, I'm just looking at the facts again, trying to put stuff together. It's just crazy. It's always the same people, the same comments every single time. It's like, I didn't say, I'm not referring to you, obviously. Yeah. I don't know, haven't you seen the sketches? WNC Granny? I don't really want to show them because I think they're bogus, okay? Especially when he said, well, it's somewhere in between. You're listening and crying. That's pretty good. Okay, here you go, everybody. Those are the two sketches. This guy here, okay, the guy on the right looks absolutely nothing like this person. There is nothing similar other than they both have two eyes, a nose, and a mouth, and ears. Okay? But people go, oh, I see it. I can see I see how they look. No, listen. Be intellectually honest. They don't look similar at all. The guy on the left has a little cleft in his chin, a wider face. There's nothing similar about it. Can we admit that? Just everybody. So then Carter said, well, it's somewhere in between. Well, okay. Well, forget it then. Because this guy looks nothing like this one. This guy looks nothing like that one. All the people that people say, oh, look at this, look at this. Yeah, that person looks like the sketch. But the other 70,000 people that people compared it to, who also look like the sketch, look nothing like each other. Yeah, this guy might be 18 to something, and this guy is 42. Okay? This is not that, and that is not... I don't even know what that means, Angie. Ange. No idea. Yeah. I think the only thing that they should be doing is playing the video and audio over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in various places and hope somebody comes forward that says, oh my God, I think I know who that is. That's it. These kinds of things here, people think sketches are exactly what the person looks like. The person might look like, hell, look at me. If you threw me on the screen there, you might be able to say, well, I can see that. He's got the later, right? But it's crap. I mean, this guy looks like Tom Cruise, and this guy looks like a hobo. Or wait, hold on. I said it wrong. Hold on. Not a hobo, a living challenged person. Well, hold on. What's the word again? Temporarily homeless? Yeah, whatever. Forget it. Namaste. There it is, residentially challenged. What a joke. Give me a break. Hey, thanks, Jessica Schubach. I cry when Gray takes a night off from the show, which only happens 1 or 2 times a year. Thank God. Do you cry throughout the night and you don't sleep for 3 days? Yeah. So I have the stories that I've told on here multiple times is there was one time when I was in this basketball camp. And we went on like a day trip or something. And then we were all driven home in the van. And I was the last one in the van, and we're going down this road near where I used to live, Dosh Road. And I said, oh yeah, I live right here. And he just kept driving, the driver of the van. He just kept going. And then I had my hand on the door. I was going to jump the hell out of that thing. I was like 12 or 13. And I just was like, have my hand on the door. And then eventually he turned around and drove me there. But the whole scenario was really strange. And I remember my heart beating really fast. And then I had another incident where I was just walking down the street and near, way down the hill from Dosh Road. I was walking along the street and this car pulled over next to me and said, get in the car. And I just took off like a bullet. I ran as fast as I could. But I remember thinking that feeling that I had where you're just really panicky. That's the feeling that I'm thinking the girls had. But it never went away. It just got worse and worse and worse. And I just can't imagine that. So, anyways, that's going to be it, you guys. Hopefully, if you're new out there, you got a little feel for the case. There's obviously, these people that people thought were suspects. It's usually people in social media that think that. Yeah, it was creepy. What the heck happened? Oh man. I had to shut it down. Yeah, it is an interesting one. I guess what I haven't shown you, I always feel like everybody already knows, but so these are the two girls, right? Oh, look at that! I typed in their name and my little animation's right there at the top. And they're actually older than this right here. Yeah, probably more like that. So this is Abby, Libby. Libby's the one that had the camera and was taking pictures. She had a phone with her. Oops. Okay. So thank you to Alice Patak, JD, Cairo, Candalee, Woodward Stone, Cindy Leon, Incognito Society, Jacqueline Keeley, Crystal, aka Beaver Gaming Sub Crystal, Perry Mom, Mad Crocheter, and Incognito Society is a really cool person. She has a channel. I mean, you guys, I'm sure most people in the Delphi have seen it. Crystal, aka Beaver Gaming Sub Crystal, Perry Mom, Mad Crocheter, Tawny Lee, Kathy Frydenmaker, H Doc, Mag, Carolina T, Mary Glaviano, Anthony Galvez, Tom Webster, Marianne Bobani, Living It, as in living the dream. Brown Eyed Girl 1367, Kit Kat, Matt Pavia, Bronco Fan Amber, Into the Mystic, Gloria Batari, Jack, Lee D. Started putting me in prison right there. TTJO Tracy, JD, Admiran, Mag and Bronco Fan Amber bailed me the hell out, and Jessica Schubach. And Mags was a cat eye. Thank you. Well, there you go, everybody. Thank you very much for the show tonight. I guess thank me. I'm just kidding. Did you hear Gray? He said thank himself. What a... Yeah, you know how that goes. But thanks, everybody. I appreciate you guys showing up. We'll see you guys tomorrow. And then hopefully next Sunday we'll get back on to a serial killer Sunday. All right. So that's it, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you all for supporting the channel. It really helps the channel out and the charities. And yeah, we're at 38,000 this year so far. Can I get a boom shakalaka? All right, everybody. Thank you very much. Until next time, be safe out there. And a 2 and a 3 and a... Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gray is gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, free connector, and I'm always gonna be a
thank you, Suzanne.
fool deflector.
Suzanne Marcella, thank you.
And I'm meaner than a spectre with a vector on his pector. Yeah, hey Mary Lou, I'll say things. Hey, thanks, Suzanne. Just remember, I've a temple fucking
Hey, gee, Gray, I just want to help.
no
Wow.
agenda. I'm no pretender, and I'll serve it to you straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender. Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody? Talk to you.
I sprinkle troll on my food, but I don't eat it. I chew it up and spit it out and repeat it. It's not a treat. The troll is bait. Just one of the ways that I defeat it. See who my groove, when there's a troll on the move, just takes a second to remove, 'cause every time I conclude, the troll is gonna lose. Nice try, lizard eye, I see you creeping down the sly. Why you think it's a fly? Such a whiny cry, battle me, you're gonna fry. Gonna send you out to mummify. Time to say goodbye. Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with a buck and a quarter. And Jill came down with $2.50. Ooh. Wonder Mike, like to say hello. But to the black, to the white, the red and the brown, the purple and yellow. But first, gotta bang bang. Boogie to the boogie, say up jump the boogie to the bang bang boogie. Let's rock. You don't stop, like the rhythm that'll make the body stop. Now so far you've heard my voice, but I brought two friends along. And next on the mic is Mom and Hank. Come on, Hank, sing that song. Check it out on the CAS and the OVA, and the rest is FLY. See, nobody cool with the back of the next season's reason, I'll tell you why. See, I'm 6'1" and tons of fun, and I dress to a T. I got a television so I can see. I remember it, man, I don't remember the damn thing. Check it out. CAS, OVA, the rest is FLY. See, I go by the cool of the back of the next these reasons, I tell you why. 6'1" and I'm turned to phone and I dress to a D. See, I got more clothes on a hot Ali and I dress so viciously. I got bodyguards, I got two big cars, I definitely did the whack. Got a Lincoln Continental and a sunroof Cadillac. So after school, I take a dip in the pool, and with this really, hey, what happened to my music? Yay! Oh, there it is. Here's a little story that I got to tell about three bad brothers you know so well. Started way back. History without Rock MCA and me, Mike D. Had a little horses in a small river. Me and my horsey in a quart of beer. Coming across the land, kicking up sand, so pulses on my tail, 'cause I'm in demand. One lonely beastie I be, all by myself without no party. Someone was beating down on my baseball hat. It was getting hot, blue was getting flat. Looking for a girl, ran into a guy. His name was MCA. I said howdy, he said hi. Hey, how's your husband doing, Lucky Toy? He told a little story that sounded well rehearsed. 40's on the run and then he's dying of thirst. The blue was in my hand and he was on my tip. He said it was right up before a sip. He said, can I get some? I said, you can get none. I had a pencil run, put a shotgun. Quick on the draw, thought I'd be dead. You put the gun to my head and this is what he said. My name is MCA and got a license to kill. I hope you know what time it is, it's time to get ill. Now what do we have here? An outlaw and his beer. I run this land, you understand, I'll make myself clear. We stepped into the wind, he had a gun, I had a grin. You think the story's over, but it's ready to begin. I got the gun, you got the brew, you got two choices of what you can do. It's not the decision as you can see. I can blow you away or you can ride with me. I said I'll ride with you if you can get me to the border. Shame was on me for what I did to his daughter. Did it like this, I did it like that. I did it with a wiffle-ball bat. So I'm on the run, the cop got my gun. What about now? It's on to have some fun. The King at Rock, that is my name, and I know the fire spot where they got the champagne. So we rode for 6 hours and we hit the spot. The beat was bumping and the girls was hot. The two was staring like he knows who we are. We took the empty spot next to him at the bar. Yippee yo MCA, you know this kid? I said I did, but I know he did. Kid said get ready, this ain't funny. My name's Mike D and I'm about to get money. Pulled out the jammy, aimed it at the sky. He yelled stick him up and let two fly. Hands went up and people hit the floor. We wasted 2 kids that ran for the door. I'm Mike D and I get respect. The cash in your jewelry is what I expect. MCA was with it, he's my ace. So I grabbed a piano player and I punched him in the face. Piano player's out, music stopped. His boy had beat and he got dropped. Mike D grabbed him and MCA grabbed the gold. Wrapped 2 gorillas on a bill that's cold. Bam! You know what I'm saying?
Well, that was pretty good there, Mary Lou.
Hey, thanks, Greg. Huh? Hey, Boston Christian, are you on rewind mode or what's going on? Gee. Tolerate and listen. I sit back with his brand new invention, something that's holding me tightly, flows like a hopping billion nightly. Would ever stop, yo? I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow to the extreme. I rock the mic like a vandal, light up the stage and make the jump like a candle dance. What's as big as a boom, killing your brain like a poisonous mushroom, deadly. When I play a dope melody, anything less than the best of the felony. Love it, leave it, better get away. Better hit balls and again don't play. If there was a problem, yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook when my DJ revolves it. Now that the party is jumping, with the bass kicked in and the vehicles are pumping, quick with the point, cause the point no faking, cooking MCs like a pound of bacon, burning them, get quick and nimble, go crazy when I hear the cymbal with a hi-hat, with a super tempo, I'm on a roll, time to go solo rolling, in my 5.0 with my rack top down so my hair can blow, girlies on standby, waiting just to say hi, did you stop? No, just drove on, kept on, close to until the next stop, I thought the left arm headed to the next block. Like a dead dog, so continue to A1A Detroit Avenue. Girls were hot, wearing less in bikinis. Rock me lovers, drama the McGee. Jealous, cause I'm out getting mine. Shade with a gauge and vanilla with a 9. Gunshots, ranged out like a bell. I grab a 9 on the herd with shells. Falling on the concrete real fast. Jumped in my car, slammed on the gas. Bumper, avenues packed. Time to get away from the jack, cause jack police wanna see, you know what I mean. That was a hook, and for another doping, get them with a problem, no, I'll solve it. Check out the hook, future involves it. Thanks, Lanky Tor.
Yeah, thanks, Lanky Tor. Appreciate it. How's your husband doing these days?
No sleep till Brooklyn. If I were down, burning cold on the mall, when you don't fall, so what am I? Never be the leader of bad, take me to feel my feel on battle, but way too much to take. I need to be fake, way too much on my plate, but you know what? That's impossible. Thanks, Sarah M. Oh, good. Awesome, Lanky Tor. Hey, it's J Case.
Hey, it's Jay Case.
I already said that, Gray.
Oh, well, you're running the show now? I see. I get it. I get it. I get it.
If I would when you ask, listen before they take me to You! Thanks, Jay! Alright, everybody, that's about it for me. Well, no, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Thanks, everybody!
Wow, who cares? You know, like, you just did a little rap at the end. I did 3 hours of show.
Gosh, Gray, are you saying what I did wasn't worth anything?
Oh, not really. The Blazers suck, Jay. Man, they fucking, I mean, they're terrible.
What does that have to do with the show, Gray? The Blazers.
Oh, now you're being passive aggressive. I get it.
What do you mean, Gray? Gee, you're so mean to me.
What are you upset about?
No, nothing. Yeah. All right, Gray, good night.
Wow, okay. All right, you guys. We will see you guys tomorrow. And until then, everybody, be safe out there.
Hello? Anybody still here?
Oh, boy.